team from each other. Only two squads on the island right now are Alula and Aurora. We've got E-Arena on screen now. This is the POV of Joker. Tianda though, taking the scrap towards OG.
It's EWC final
being hit very heavy. Trying to stay behind the trees, bro. Luckily still alive.
Yeah, great zigzag. Able to stay out of dodge there for a second. He's very close to going down. Aking challenging this. But Aking has been making a name for DBS, right? You know, there's a lot of nerfs that came through. S12K became the more popularized weapon. Despite that though, Aking has been consistently winning these crates with it.
He's bringing it back in fashion.
Welcome back, my lord.
Seems like the horror fans enjoying this one so far, getting quite loud there. You see the banner flying. Haru. Oh, going back in. Let's see what he can do in a DBS. Wants to prove he's the DB best up close and personal. On to Schweitz with the opener. Not ideal for his teammates though, as Joker strikes with a shotgun and Turney K outside twists the knife. Another one falls. An orangutan. It all goes down to just Aru. Trapped behind the bike sheds and laid out by E-Arena.
E-Arena able to remove them. Stepped up to the plate, but not worthy to sit around here with E-Arena, unfortunately. Some good shots at the start there, but started to crumble slightly. Turney K came in like a demon though from the sidelines. Big WizGod was not expecting him to be so up close and personal. Aura played back here. They're over towards the pier itself. Four Thrives mirroring them over towards the eastern side. We are close towards our next circle now. Nigma Galaxy making me laugh at the moment, man. They're like, this circle looks horrendous. We're going to play our drop for the rest of the game. We're going to get very looted. But we think about moving. And we're still on Sosnovka with this one. Four Thrives looking good. Out towards the southern edge here. Vitality trying to confirm over towards that compound 60 towards the field. I don't think that's a bad idea here. Gives you a lot of control of the Longwoods that sits around this area. Not sure what S2G is doing. I think we've got boats. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it seems like at least one boat in play there. Dream scenario, maybe it's a hovercraft back over to the mainland. Teammates they get involved in the action later. Meanwhile, though, Godlike taking on Tiamba. Milu on his last leg, suffering a casualty there for the Tiamba squad. It's a decent start, but Godlike have received one knock onto their roster. This is the establisher. You can see the fight here from the top down. QZZ with a nade into the ditch. Manya very low, but backpedals into safety with cover to play with.
Power holding down the fortress, keeping that drawbridge pulled up. Takes a fair bit of damage here, but he's refusing to move. Manya will reinforce the front gates. Actually, he goes for a swing by, trying to get some information on that. So Eagle's going to move round, understanding the position has been compromised.
Slowly trying to take some space back. Faint smoke wall goes up. Ooh, only gets worse for Aurora as well. That's quick from Alula finding them. This was the other team that was on the island. There's now a third party that's joined though with that late rotation round from S2G. Looks like they did go back to grab the rest of the squad. Yeah, it was Kamikaze in the hovercraft. That's paid off for them to fight towards them. Oh, interestingly taking the hit over as well to Godlike. So that battle turns into a third party fight.
Quick swing around. Quick shots up towards Ulf. For them, Ulf should be able to pick the players back up. They've got a good spot right now. It's not as safe as they might like it to be, but it is decently central. It feels like the circle's peeling away from Sosnovka at this point. We have very limited space to work with. Alula trying to make the cross. S2G, Hamzi at distance. Will find a shot over towards Aurora there, leaving them at 0. On the game early, 23 points is where they'll end. On single point earned on this one.
ठीक है अब जो है ग्रैंड फाइनल बाय द वे आ चुका है पहला दिन है ग्रैंड फाइनल का जिसमें कि पहला मैच जो है ऑलरेडी हो चुका है ये ऑरा बाय द वे रनर नहीं थी पहला मैच में इतनी को तो अच्छा से याद नहीं आ रहा मैंने भी जस्ट देखा था बट फर्स्ट टाइम लेकिन अभी थोड़ी देर में आपको पता चल ही जाएगा ठीक है
How does their entry at work, actually. Man, how are we still on the bridge?
Yeah, this is kind of unreal. At some point, I thought we'd move.
Yeah, we're still here. I mean, Sosnovka's still in as well. I cannot believe this.
Luna also took another casualty from S2G on a backside. So they pulled it quick and actually rushed over the bridge now into the mainland. Yeah, that's only a trio blank. Damage onto Yasser as well.
Oh, Enigma Galaxy might try and trade up. They're just in. They're just in. They're absolutely playing a different game at the moment. I mean, I'm glad finally there's some shots that go towards them now. It's just such a wild play from Enigma Galaxy. Coop's taking a hell of a lot of damage. They'll slowly careen it back in towards his team. And lock it down. They have lost one off the back of that. Vehicles are smoking, flaming. Flashes Dashwood going up. I mean, that's 3 eliminations potential there for them, but they're worried about the side area.
Grand finals में 6 matches और overall 3-day finals होगा. Stage consistent of 18 total. तो 3 दिन फाइनल होने वाला है. आज होगा, कल होगा, परसों होगा और 6 मैच होगा. बाय द वे एक मैच ऑलरेडी हो चुका है. ये दूसरा मैच बाय द वे आज चल रहा है.
Tony K
low on HP, अलग-अलग बाय द वे जो है होने वाला है मैप. रोंडो इरेंगल फिर मेरा लगातार 2 से 5 मैच जो इरेंगल
back onto Eagle. Aking gets a little bit high octane as he charges through the ground floor. Nade on the stairs. Mormon's cooking one of his own to bounce down. Godlike getting involved with the fight. That's Mapio just outside the window. Big pop-up pump in his hands. So many teams crunching in.
Good Molotov here, but really good timing from Godlike as they move into this one, just leaving Aking alive here for Tiamba. E-Arena on the upstairs with the 4v2v1. Really good stuff. I mean, this is a good entry point coming through for Godlike, and they understand if they can get rid of 2 teams, they're going to be opening up a lot of space down here. Edmino thought how high HP count, but Manya finally does fall here to a nade from Mormon. Tiamba goes down.
Smoke on the stairs. Mormon's going to clear it. Oh, straight in with the clothesline. Whoa! The turnaround. Mormon saying, "Feed me more." As Godlike charge into him. Quick decision, but not fast enough on the mantle. But Sume will save it. But at what cost? The only player left alive for the squad.
I mean, Godlike need more men now. They're only down to 1. What a play from Mormon. The speed, the velocity. Straight in there, no qualms. Now Vitality, they're up into it. This place has been the graveyard of 5 separate teams so far. Vitality finally just come over towards the dregs. The funeral's almost over. Can Salme stay alive as the sole participant?
The Vitality a victim from the top floor. Or will they just be signing their death warrants on entry? Axel being shot in the back. A new challenger arrives. It's Hora in the distance as Jiggle is able to punish and soften them, leaving them with 3 players left. Sume still just guarding the stairs with a nade pin pulled. He's going to go down. Razak with a dive around the corner. He wants to punish him with a shotty and will find it.
Really, really good job from Razak. I think you have to make that play in that moment as well. You hear the pin pull coming down, trying to get the res off. You're trying to go for the revive, get some respite in that location. So Razak goes for the risky play to keep them up as 4, understanding they'll need that amount of players to push through the next couple of compounds. They got Aura in front of them and 4 thrives after that. Alula down towards the south side. Circle finally moved away. Still a lot of water on this one. Beachhead as well. Ida as well as Ulf now going at it. Play from off downstairs is not. They have 4 players up though right now. This is very easy to recover from. But it should be.
Whoa, you run straight into that one. Catching the as Ida try and clap back. Is good damage, but such an awkward setup between both of them. Casualties on either side. Scarface looking to go for the pick-up play. Meanwhile, outside, Emre charging round with the SMG and denied out by Nongshim Red Force. Tizzy takes that one.
Nongshim could push this pretty quickly. Ulf is not looking Too good right now. Neither is Vitality. Flipping into action. They lose a vehicle. Racing Razak try and get the buggy through the window, but end up dismantling through normally. That was a speedy rotate. I like that. You know, cut your losses. Moving through Aura as well as Fourth Rise is going to be hard, and eventually you get third party by one of them. You hear the engagement happening on the north. You send it. Now Wolf is in a very tricky spot. Cut between two strong teams in Nongshim as well as Vitality.
Quick decisions and shades of the Vitality that we were so impressed by prior. Once again, back on our screens, it's only the one elim they've been able to garner so far. But they are licking their lips at the prospect of so much more.
Getting a little bit more here, you get yourself the Naruto skin in-game, as well as the Ninetales Fury Org. Both looking very cool here. Wolf's going to hopefully have to drop a substitution jutsu here to try and get out of this one, because it is going to be hard. Vitality, Razak move up. Quick shots over towards Souls. He tries to move around the corner. Nongshim still in play. They're the ones getting the most of the damage, though. Federales at least will confirm one. Quick switch around the side. Denying some of the sight lines. As Wolf does go down. Vitality, though, they've been hugging the wall so far. Not allowing a single moment for Nongshim Red Force to try and challenge that spot. Razak, though, what are you doing? Testing the waters, a little bit hot.
Yeah, I did not like the feeling of that one. Although maybe he wants to go for it from a slightly different approach. Runs back out. Meanwhile, attention turns onto Federales, and that is another knock going the way of Nongshim. Oh, Razak.
Oh, yeah, good shots.
He's got so easy, very low. Nade right on top of him as well, following up from that. Oh, mate. Hyunbin with the instantaneous conversion. Now it's a raw 3-on-3. Luckily, they will save Federales, but he's got to top himself back up.
I mean, Razak understood the idea. Now, tries to get up towards the wall, create a different angle to deal with. Nongshim was quick to it. Hyunbin pushing up right now. He's a little bit close for comfort here. But I think they know they want to get rid of this guy sooner rather than later, but he has pulled these kind of antics before. Getting a little too aggressive. Without the help of the rest of the team, so easy goes down the back lines as Flash starts to move on through.
Tizzy tries his might. Rapid shots coming out, but not enough to finish Vitality. The end of Nongshim Red Force. But it does leave Vitality slightly weakened. And Flash, they are next in line to try and keep them pinned here, knowing eventually they'll have to move. Slightly paranoid about the other teams that could be behind them.
Blue is ushering Vitality forward. Swinging in on the same angle as Flash. How will they make this work? S2G, you were right. You were actually right. They had two hovercrafts in play. Being able to keep both of these alive all the way through to this endgame is giving them a lot of pressure. Loss isn't quite able to get it up, though. And the hovercraft is stuck on the side. Yeah, just about. We'll take it. Just letting it happen. Come on, bit more gas.
Got to give it some welling.
ULA के बाद में दो प्लेयर हैं प्लस VIT के बाद में I think 3 प्लेयर है VIT के 3 प्लेयर NGX के जो कि टाइम पर ऑलरेडी है
there could be a lot you could do with it late game. I'm surprised the Luna have been able to guard this for so long, make it look uncomfortable. Nade after nade as well, just trying to soften them up.
40 की 4 पॉइंट है और होरा की बाद में 3 प्लेयर है 40 की बाद में 4 प्लेयर चारों को 4 प्लेयर S2G के 4 प्लेयर तो दो टीम के चारों को 4 प्लेयर S2G और 40 Let's go guys.
That's bold. On fire. Get out. Balak. Down. Aura. No fear. Drops them all up top side. Looks very decent on that one. Airburst are slightly too far. This is some comedy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, they should be able to clean up from here at least. As long as there's not any more mistakes. It's damage done to Solkay, but they do hold on. Shut down Alula. Bit of a weird one.
It was a weird one. I'm glad you picked it up strong though, because I mean it is an important fight. It's just interesting. Vitality go down in the meantime as Flash continues to push the advantage. But it is majority of Fourth Drives doing that damage. Nick McGuinness after their strange approach from the early game.
NGX के
Now
अभी भी
going
player बने हुए
out
बचे हुए हैं।
slowly but surely, just Ralph
S2G के
as
4
well
player
as
अभी भी बने हुए
Lord.
बचे हुए 40 के भी
Flash
4
has been
player
all
बने
over
हुए
the
बचे
place so
हुए
far. Next circle will pull in, stage 7. Fourth Rise have been weathering it though. They have held a ton of space. It has been a little bit greedy, but they've been doing a good job of playing off one another. Yes, they've taken some knocks here and there, but they've maintained a 4-man. They're in this area early, and they understand better than anyone else. This is a game that they should be doing well on. I don't think I'd put as much pressure on and say this is a game they should win from the spot they had at the start, but it should be at least a top 5, which I think, you know, we've already achieved. So this is a good game from Fourth Rise and shows that they still have it in them.
And with them being able to have enough timing here to get IQ back up once again, the 2-2 split from them could still pay dividends massively. It's been a very elongated firefight between them and Hora, effectively just mirroring each other's movement up along the ridge into the zone. A little bit more split here, no fear in the back, trying to protect from Overwatch. Right, Hora के भी है as well. Meanwhile, that's an engagement over onto Enigma Galaxy. S2G, after moving in and cleaning out Alula, they head center zone, and they find the final blow there. Goodbye, Enigma Galaxy. S2G stealing points here, there, and everywhere.
Do we have to call this play the kamikaze from now on? Where S2G just launch him out like a rocket to center circle and leave him there on his own? This is the kamikaze. This is crazy stuff. The rest of S2G trying to regroup with him, but it's not likely. Kamikaze in play right now. The other hovercraft does go down, not really any other vehicles, might need to regroup, pick it back up again, but Kamikaze, he's going to hold that spot. He planted the flag, the S2G flag. T24 goes down, jiggle around the side.
Ooh, Sleepy. Top side of the stairs, but you can't weather the storm as Fourth Rise arrives and the brain of the operation kicks in the brawn. The shotgun does damage. Falak there in the back line to assist, but no fear. Charging up. He's going to play on the edge, wants to run in now with the timing, see if he can shut them down. Falak charges back, can't do it. No fear, holds on. Quick switch to the primary. Gets himself onto an off angle. With one more play, if he can shut down IQ, he can take out Fourth Rise, and that's how he does it. No fear from Hora, stands on.
Absolutely not frightened in the slightest as he moves downstairs, pushes up into the dark, and Fourth Rise will win up against the world right now. DPS at distance, he's fighting all of them, but S2G falling in the meanwhile. No fear. There's a possibility of winning this if he wants to push out right now.
Get involved in the action. Everyone's weakened. Doesn't have all the info we do right now. He's going to top himself back up, play the slow game. That's Flash. Losing their last man there with Kamikaze continuing to punish. Oh, a horrible spot. Tries to get the heal in. Kamikaze's got a single nade in the back pocket if he chooses to dash it. They've got clear vision now. Peppering the bullets. This is it. Pulls the pin, looking to cook. Let's see if he can land it.
Kamikaze looking for it now, a bit of splash damage. Not just there yet. Kamikaze keeps spraying the right location with the bullets, peppering the ground, picking up mud. Solke in the back lines. What's left out here? Quite an unfamiliar target. Solke will take down Tops. Kamikaze is out and we're down to a 1 versus 1 versus 1. The outside contender in no fear. Solke looking at both angles.
दो प्लेयर by the way Hora के बचे हुए और ये Hora के भी एक ही प्लेयर बचे हुए हैं तो ऐसा नहीं है भाई कुछ भी हो सकता है केवल 4 बंदे रिमेनिंग है जिसमें कि FL के एक प्लेयर Hora के
No fear already picking up that big clutch. He's amped up as an individual. Got a rough read on where he believes Solke can be stationed, tucked in behind this burnt out hovercraft.
I don't think he knows. I think he knows there's a team in that general direction, but he does not know where No Fear is. Hamzy G finally goes down. I think No Fear has a rough idea that he's playing on this hovercraft, though. He has the information. Watching both of them. This would be an unbelievable double clutch up versus Fourth Rise into the last two teams. Zeus is just pushing forward. Over towards No Fear. And Zeus with all to do here. Flash who had swept everyone aside. Solke, the last to fall potentially here versus Team Flash.
Zeus The lightning reactions for Flash have guaranteed them a second place, but can he take it to first, or will Soke get it done for S2G? A smoke wall, giving him limited play space. That tree, the only protection for the peak for Flash. He's going to make his move, starts charging in, wants to close the distance. Here's the peak, bullets on target. Sweet is so low, buckles under the pressure. That's the damage coming through as they lock it in.
S2G, Kamikaze with the Kamikaze play towards the center. It's an explosive finish right at the end. But Soke steps up, a lad that's been in the esport for the longest of time. He's still got it in.
Feeding the crowd energy. A celebration in unison for the nation as they pop off on that one. S2G locking it down and everyone's living it up.
And it's all in the name because it is all gonna be okay at the end of the game for S2G. They had a lot of confidence coming into this one. They look good on the stage. They look good in the game. Is this the S2G comeback that we were looking for?
Aggression, confidence, some brilliant gun skill. Showing us a lot of the moves we needed to see on that one. A smart rotation from start to finish as well, playing by their own rules, Blank.
The thing for me is just 2 matches so far, they have been both electric. I mean, this shot from Zeus,
the quick reactions, dude. That sent me.
His eyes must be going 2 different directions, man. He'd be seeing everything.
He was so locked in for an S2G fight. I don't even know how he clocked him, but instantly.
He said it, lightning flash reactions. That's what it is. I mean, it's so good from this team so far. I mean, they were involved in everything. I think Horror, honestly for them, yeah, it's a tough fight versus Forthright, but you've got to be happy with the way that No Fear clutched up there. That is an incredible finish of those guys. Yes, Horror had a good spot on the sideline, but it's so many teams constantly pouring in, cycling out time and time again. I don't think that was an easy game whatsoever.
And you can feel it looks a little bit different with this lobby compared to what we had in isolation in groups, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's so much more quick to the punch, a lot more early contact. And it feels like sometimes we were seeing maybe a bit too much respect for the big dogs. Now everyone's playing on the same level. It feels like we're all on an equal footing here. And they're giving it their best. It really has changed the dynamic. But let's get down and hear from Kalaris himself on the stage about what they have to say.
Thank you very much, Jackie. Yes, you can cut the tension with a knife here at the moment for our first 2 games. And I'm here with our winners from Game 1, of course, Ralph from Nigma Galaxy, to talk to about them. Some of the games that have happened so far. So let's talk about that first game, in that late game against Aurora there. What was your anticipation as a team? Did you think Aurora had maybe moved a little bit earlier? Or talk to me about the late game and what you guys were experiencing.
I mean, we didn't really know. We didn't have much info. But we just played it slow. We took our fights that we need to take, and we just secured the win at the end.
I mean, it looks good at the end, right? Of course, getting that many points off of a Rondo. Not a bad start at all for a grand final like this. That second game, a bit harder, I think.
Yeah, second game was a bit harder. I mean, we have a team hot dropping us, but they're scared to fight. I don't know, they're camping. So we'll see next games what they do.
I was going to say, were you surprised by that? Because it was in the back, we were a little surprised that they were going to come your way. As we've talked about multiple times, it's your territory. So what are they doing?
They know we won't change, so they're just wasting their time. And they're coming to fight, but they don't want to fight. So I'm really confused right now.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining me here, Ralph. You heard it out there. He's got his eyes on you.
My name's Blank, and I've had 4 coffees, and I'm testing my reaction time right now.
I'm Hot Jukes. I just had a massage, and this is my reaction time.
Let's get it.
Let's go भाई, तो गेम वगैरह चल रहा है फिलहाल तो हाँ तो यहाँ पे गेम वगैरह तो चलता हुआ दिखाई दे रहा है।
I'm in the room. The room. Yeah, so my reaction score is pretty damn good. I actually don't think it has something to do with anything else or anything like that. But what about you, Jukes?
I don't care. Cut.
कैमरा में कोई चेंज नहीं करता ठीक है जगह कैमरा पर Let's go baby go इस चैनल में ना मैं सारा कुछ लाइव करने वाला गेम से रिलेटेड सारा कुछ लाइव इस चैनल पे ही होगा सारा कुछ मतलब गेम से रिलेटेड
S2G in hovercraft. That is like white on rice right now because my goodness, what a performance out of that squad. Before we break down that second match here in finals, don't forget that we do have the fan experience that you can check out here at EWC. Make sure you go check it out. You can check out the new mode, Brain Rot Royale. Check out the collaboration right now the PUBG Mobile is doing with Naruto and so much more. And you can win some really cool shirts, which actually we've been wearing them. Not right now. I think Jukes does have one on, but you'll be able to check out so much stuff. Yeah, check out that still Brain Rot. I mean, Brain Rot Royale. I've been playing it. I think I got to level 7. I've seen people being able to get to level 11. I gotta grind some more.
Wow, 7 got 7.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes. Gotta keep it on brand, baby. Now that's it. I'm not gonna be playing it anymore. But S2G, Jukes.
Bro.
My goodness.
Oh, dude, that double hovercraft play right there at the end was absolutely insane. They were able to take out Aula in a very nice way. And then just, I like to see that they kept one player there, right by the water, behind the hovercraft, just in case. And he was able to clutch it up at the end and get that chicken dinner. Finally, an S2G win.
Okay,
and nice and early.
Yeah, really nice. And the momentum they were able to pick up on after, getting those hovercrafts. Very quick side note here while we're on this fight. 4 thrives are looking, I hate to say it, very shaky. I don't know what happened because group stage, they were looking really solid, just not able to get that win. Here, the splits are kind of off. They're pushing one by one. They're not really communicating, it feels like. So the last 2 games, I've not been super impressed with them, but hopefully that changes in the next game.
And for 4 thrives, I felt like it took him way too long, Neptura, to engage the fight there with Hora, just coexisting for too long, and No Fear came in clutch with that 1 versus 2.
He really did, and he continued to come in clutch for a lot of the game. Actually, he was a big part of the team this game.
Yeah, I just think he just made a big play. I mean, what can you do against that? When No Fear comes up and clutches it up, I mean, Aura fans are screaming these guys' names at the top of their lungs, and to be able to clutch it up like that is just huge. So yeah, unfortunate for 4 thrives, huge for No Fear.
Another team that has been performing quite well today when we talk about eliminations has been none other than Nongshim Lace. This was the biggest feedback that we gave this squad during groups and also survival, and they're finally starting to put up those eliminations. As you can see, Nongshim Red Force right now with 9.
Yeah, absolutely 7. I mean, they're finding important fights on their rotation to solidify that position, especially on that northern side. They were able to sort of catch Furia off guard, and now I do want to kind of segue into Furia and to why I need to highlight this. But one of our most aggressive playstyle teams is prioritizing the rotate on Rondo. We actually saw them grab utility, move into zone, and Max actually made a good point about this when NGX was sort of on the, I think it was the eastern side next to E Arena. Furia should have just pushed them into it, caused that fight. They would have had control over that whole entire side because they just sort of stopped the revive from Ulf. Then again, on this map, they found themselves in the position, and Nongshim from the northern side just obliterated their defense. This is just unusual for Furia. They are the power play team. They're the ones that get in a goddamn vehicle and shooting out the window and making that position them. It's just unusual.
They're right. They are supposed to be that aggressive team, and they're currently not showcasing that. In the opposite, like you just mentioned, and I was mentioning too, Nonchalant is putting up those eliminations. But something happened at the end of that last game. With the hovercrafts and S2G, that was a little bit sketchy net.
It was a little bit. It was a bit touch and go here, but the momentum they've been able to build with these hovercrafts, they had 2 or 3, and they just went, let's go for it. And it's this replay that I want to talk about here, because look how they're going to play this.
It's like my driving.
First of all, yeah. Secondly, look how they take that first hovercraft and they deny the sightlines of Aula, right? They separate them one by one. They can no longer play as a duo. They try and get as many of those sightlines abolished as possible with those hovercrafts. And to be honest, S2G with those hovercrafts have been actually insane. It feels like because they take more damage to explode, and they have just a tank, and so they are able to just run with it. They were making crazy rotations from the very beginning of the game. They had those positions on the rocks in the middle of the water, which are normally inaccessible, but having 2 hovercrafts, I wonder if other teams are going to start picking up on that, because that was an insane game from S2G.
I mean, we've seen it happen in the past too, and you just sounded like Max there for a second. I was going to have to double check to make sure it was Michael Natura Jackson or if it was Maxman. But we're looking at the overall ranking here. NigmaGalaxy is currently in first place with those 26 points. Aurora, top. What happened at the top of that bridge? That man ended up falling down, and he actually ended up hurting Aurora with the rotation that they were looking to do into the main island.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate there. I mean, that's what it's all about. You know, you're trying to be able to get into that end game and make those plays, and if you're Aurora, you know, 24 points on the board, you can't shake your head at, you know, and S2G being able to get that win, push themselves up to 3rd place. You know, I like what we were talking about there about Nongshim a little bit earlier, right?
They just look at the elements.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. 18 eliminations, and they would have gotten even more if it wasn't for those clutch plays from Vitality right there, because we saw absolute Hyunbin in action making some serious plays. But hey, again, super clutch moments here.
We have to talk about some of these other teams that are currently on the second page. I know it is the first day of PMWC at EWC 26 finals. It's only 2 games, but there is some things that we're starting to notice here, especially with 4 Thrives, the Fascinators that you were kind of talking about earlier, Neptura, as well as OG. OG needs to start being a little bit more aggressive and making sure that they look a bit more cohesive when you are being aggressive, because they were pushing one by one. It seems like a chicken without its head.
Yeah, it really did. And also they're losing players very, very early on. I think we've had that in both games now, where they're losing at least 1 or 2 of their players. Godlike have had a better opportunity to keep their players alive. They've been split up a little bit more. They've been using a little bit more of the zone, but it's just when they actually get down to the fight towards the end game, that's where they start to falter, and that's why we're not seeing those strategies convert into points. So that's what we need to see there.
And India, if I have learned anything about OG, it is they need their 3rd game. So don't count them out yet. I've learned my lesson. Don't you stress. Orangutan in their 3rd match, what they tend to do is actually prioritize just kind of scoping what the rest of the teams are doing, making their game plan. Game 3, 4 is where they set their sights on fire.
Oh, I like that one. Now this is the group of death. Woo! This is the group of death, and this does feel like a finals right now with the way that some of these teams are playing. One man that I know is happy because he ended up picking that team that was in the top 3 here, none other than Team Flash. Maxman is looking to make sure he reverses curse. So let's send it over to Maxman in Calaris.
Well, we're not going to let him do any predictions here. That would be very, very serious indeed. But of course, we'll take a look at how things have gone down so far here in these 2 games. And we did have an interview just with Ralph, who's also a little bit confused about said hot drop.
I saw the hot drop that could happen on the map before this event. I'm like, they're not going to go for it because NigmaGalaxy has been dropping in Pachinki before I was even born. And yet, a team is trying to contest it away from them. And as he said, they're going for the hot drop, but they're not fighting and very confused. And they just see the loot truck pass by like, oh, my P90. No P90. Oh. So, Ida, I might want to change that because it's not helping you out.
I think it's going to be difficult for them to go up against that, but we will see if it continues. Ralph is also a little bit confused. Let's pivot kind of where we're at here as well. They've already alluded to it on the desk and how things have gone down so far for S2G, but just masterful control of the double hovercraft, some crazy plays, and the send out of Kamikaze to be able to make that work. For S2G, that was very, very impressive.
Yeah, it's just a domain expansion double hovercraft. I'm sure you get that reference right there, Polaris. But no, great use of it, especially you saw there in the during a little bit of a replay analysis where they bled block out the line of sight of one of the players of Alula to really separate them and win the fight off the back of that. When you're near the water, when you have these open-ended finish, hovercraft are, I'm gonna have to say it, they're completely broken, and S2G made full use of it until the very end of that game.
A tough circle though, right? If you think about where Aurora was when it comes to the bridge as well, we're having kind of conversations in the back about this is a military island kind of heavy team, and yet the bridge seems like a conundrum to them that can't solve, like a Rubik's Cube.
It was a bit weird, especially because Top was on top of the bridge itself. And I think the player 4 Thrive's got an angle onto him, so he goes down, kind of drops to his death at that point, right? And then the team tries to go and back up and hopefully get him back up on his 2 feet. But then Al-Ula were very sneaky, pushing right behind them on the bridge. I think Aurora, they're very experienced on that western bridge. We should be expecting more on the finish like this. So, you know what? First Durangle, it's fine. But the next Durangle, they need to show up.
All right, well, thank you very much, Maxman. It is time to head on over to the commentator team once again for game number 3 of the finals. Let's do it.
There we go, we'll pick up that throw. Thank you very much, James. Good arc on that one. Swift, great elbow on you. You can tell he used to be a drummer, but we'll be beating the drums of absolute anticipation and excitement here, Blank, as our 3rd game of the day is about to get underway.
Yeah, national guns as well as we get into this game, because it is going to be a lot to talk about going so far. I mean, even from watching the desk, to watching the stage hits, to watching the interviews, there's a lot to break down over the last match, and even just the 2 games we've had so far, there's been a lot going on. 4 tries on that first game, having a little bit of a misstep, and then coming to the second one, looking a lot better. But so many good teams. I'm very confident to say this is about as competitive as it gets in PUBG Mobile right now. I think we have the right teams here with us. We go into our 3rd match of the day as we get towards our halfway point.
Let's go, guys. तीसरा मैच और अब तुम्हें जो है फाइनली बहुत अच्छा
shooting range to start off down towards Nova.
अब तुम्हें तीसरा मैच जो है वो
straight through the center, really easy one here, Jackie, very nice. I think one can get exactly where they need to go. Aurora, last game, like you said before, looked a little bit weakened, right? I mean, even Max picked up on it. He was saying that, hey, the team's very experienced around this area of the map, should not be going down so early like this. It should be a game that you are a bit more in control of. Wasn't the case here. Tiamba, they go out early. Stand a little bit further down towards the south side of the map, on the west.
I hope they'll be able to bounce back from that one.
NGX by the way,
has meant there was a little bit more fluctuation in the standings. Obviously for Tiamba as well. Far quieter, over 16 eliminations on their opening game of Rondo. Only 2 added to that count. Simu still living his movie though in terms of individual plays, as he was popping off on Rondo. It was a big piece of the team.
Most elimination.
I wonder if we'll have something early here from Aura and Aurora. Where's that zone going to go? We've had some wacky zones this LAN. It's been kind of crazy.
Yeah, most circles have just been very strange so far, very hard to play. A couple towards the end of the battle stage, which I think I was quite grateful for. We're more normalised on Arangol at least. The teams can actually play out their game. Enigma Galaxy versus Ida. No idea why this is happening, by the way. This is actually very strange. I'll explain once it's done. I mean, Karash already went over it in the interview, but the context is crazy. Ralph with the M249.
Let's go.
Some good shots done. Actually, Enigma Galaxy doing quite well here, but only losing a player does feel bad, and it being Coops is even worse. Taking on the side, blocked some shot from Cat.
Reflex बहुत speed है
भाई. 4th year Swine last left to face. And Ralph will get it done with the M249. He's screaming.
He's up. He's standing up.
Give them large for that. It is absolutely insane that they continue to come here. But for context, Enigma Galaxy has dropped in this location for years upon years upon years, and they say it every time. In fact, they actually say it to the crowd and to all the players, we will never switch our hot dogs. It is never worth it to fight Enigma Galaxy inside of Pachinki. Sadly for them, 4th Rise feels like we can get some easy points off the back of this one. You guys just come off a fight. We know you've come off a fight. This is a great read from 4th Rise. I actually love this.
Ooh, mate, didn't see him on the angle. So as much as there was a pop-off with them defending their home turf on the hot drop, like you say, 4th Rise know you're slightly weak. They'll look to get in there, twist the knife, and completely knock them out of the game, denying any more points on this.
I mean, to be honest, you do wonder if Fourth Rise boys, they see a big hubbub go over by the Nigma Galaxy camp and they're like, they've just won that fight.
We should get involved.
We should fly over.
By the way, Paris में by the way,
cheeky work, but you got to make the point somehow. Ralph the M249 looking for some good damage, but the shouts from the crowd start to ring out. Fourth Rise might look to back away from this one, allowing Ralph as well as Satan to live another day. Circle did move up towards the northeast side. I don't know what Ida's doing, man. It's akin to throwing away all of your angles.
Yeah, it feels like one of those where it's kind of cutting your nose off to spite your face.
Yeah.
As much as, you know, it's your spot too. If it's not working, you got to adapt. Gigantic prize pool on the line. You thought this hard to be in finals. Don't ego challenge if you don't need to. But for Fourth Rise, can they find those elims they wanted off the back of this counter play? T24 spotted on the drop. Let's see if he can go for the peak off this. And of course for you, you can get involved with that Naruto event at home.
40 up top. Smells him out on this one. Senses his Reatsu inside the building. Satan underneath. Ooh, slightly slow on the timing there. And T24 tries to use the DBS. He's swinging around in circles. Satan's not sure where to look on this. The rest of finds the first. This one has gone. Ralph is nowhere nearby to help. Drops him down to 1. And it's an easy revive here on T24 inside the building. Church held.
Get the revive back on T24. Ralph's just had to stay, man. It's where he's been for so long.
You'd be furious.
Yeah, you'd be fuming.
You win it twice. You win the hot drop twice back to back. It happens again, it costs you a game. And not even because of them.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, it just comes back to haunt you, right? Here we go, this is the full replay on it. So you get all the action. Oh, mate, it's carnage from the start. Obviously, we had Coops go down early, and like you say, they pop off to win it. We saw the celebration from Ralph literally sending a message live in the event. Live in the flesh, said it with his chest. They deserve the drop spot. But Ida don't want to give it up, and it's just really making it uncomfortable for both of those teams to get anything in these games.
It's the best Nigma Galaxy's looked in a long time as well. I think that's the saddest thing about it, and now it's happened in finals. It's happened so frequently in the past as well, when Nigma Galaxy's just got to challenge another team for their drop spot. It's not guaranteed there, for sure. They've held it the entire tournament. Come on, guys.
No fear getting ran down by Aurora as Top will find him on the move. Fourth Rise did peace out, going slightly deeper into the zone to do a bit of loot, and obviously wasting a decent amount of time on that as well for the elim they were able to garner.
Vitality down towards the southwest, started in Kameshki style, but this time we're seeing him over towards Gakka, but they grabbed himself the loot truck. Feed as much as they can out from there. Circle up towards that north side, split between the lake, left eye on the south side on School, as well as Saverni, shooting range area. Tiamba tighten it in with E-Arena, Aurora, Godlike. Salme currently holding down the gas station, pops up tire. He can't come through here for repairs. Bullets though.
Yeah, only 18 left. One in the clip, 17 in a hole. Let's see if he can turn some bodies cold on this push-up. Top going to drop down back behind the car. So Aurora taking a fair bit of damage. More reserve taps now. Got to find himself some ammo to play with. Switch it out to the Tommy just to keep the pressure on them. Suppressive fire.
Spraying it through, cutting the grass, but not quite finding the shots over towards the players. Next circle, 10 seconds roughly on this one. Aurora's still figuring out where they want to play. Probably going to be a big old retreat here out. Migrate for a lot of squads. Hardship potentially. No, actually. Very, very kind. Up towards that north side. Obviously, Lake is a bit of an awkward one to play around. You're going to see a lot of people playing on the rocky outcrops. The staging that goes up towards Stalba. Big old mountainside. There is also... Never mind, it's horrible. I lied to you. It's not great. You got the field down towards Yasnaya so there's not a huge amount of fun spots to play in. You have to decide a rotation in now and quickly. Do you wrap on the north? Do you wrap on the south? Because you can't really change that as time goes on because of Yas Lake.
Mormon from E-Arena once again, being able to throw out some big uppercuts. That's back onto Aurora. So a single knock there. We have the Tianba POV on rotation. Get themselves into a fair place so far. Mormon keeping it going. Ooh, that's Vitality as well, with Razy hitting a very big blow back onto Godlike. A lot of fights breaking out across the battleground. Individuals being knocked. Ulf coming in with some show-stopping rotates. Oh, right into the nade. WizGod had that one ready for him.
Got it primed. I mean, for Ulf, Aaron comes in swinging. But yeah, got shot down very, very quickly there. Scarface looks to send a nade, but I don't even know if I think it's worth it anymore to go for this. Ulf's deep on the south side of the map. Need to swing back further up in Yazway. Alula instantly takes up the cliffside. Aurora decides they're going to go loot Severny.
Okay, OG ke ek player by the way knock hua hai Indian team mein by the way.
Taken quite a fair hit earlier on.
OG got like 2 Indian team mein by the way.
Spent a little bit of ammo. Potentially some of the vests are starting to wear down some of the helmets. Get some resets on that before you get moving.
OG ke bhi knock hua I think I go.
Tiamba tackling against the Vitality Killer Bees once more. And it's Milu that's already showing that consistent form. Putting himself up to 10 elims on the day, I believe, then after that. Nice start for the first 3 games.
Milu keeping it a little bit quiet, though. Now playing a little bit of a split on this one. They've got Eagle a little bit further forward, perched up. Over towards Aura. Very much slowing down now at the halfway portion, Jackie. Trying to maintain some of that lead because some teams have struck out in a big way. I mean, Enigma Galaxy absolutely 30 points right now. Aurora at 26. They're able to earn 3 after that last game. In the first, I think they got 23 on that one, so last game was a bit of a dud. Hope they can find more of this one. Send us up over towards Tiamba as well as Aura, so those 2 compounds there are going to be a really big deal. Aura actually has the high ground on this one, the plateau that surrounds them. Very nice to be able to take shots out towards teams as they push on in. Sadly, Alula's much more high ground spot gets pulled off. So you're going to have to move over towards that western side. Yasa pulled away. I like this move from 4 Thrives though, Jackie. This is good.
4 Thrives still looking pretty nice in some of the encounters we've seen individually. Another roster we know that could be very explosive. Let's see if they can bring the boom on this one straight up towards the setup from Alula. Quick on top. Got a pump action in the back pocket ready for it if they can close the gap. Bit of overwatch from R3B on the top side with Claws relatively close to assist. Fast reactions onto the position of Falag, but the shot's not connecting.
Falag taking a little bit of damage here, down to half. Claws as a nade though, it's not the craziest of sends on this one. Good bounce on it actually. That would have been on target if he hadn't moved. I mean, Falag just takes the time. Here's the arc on that one. So he doesn't want to have any part of it. Tough circle though, man. Very, very tough circle. The majority of the center is taken up by that water. I actually do really like S2G's position. They're playing over towards those compounds that sit just a little bit east over towards the lake itself. Oh, sorry, the cliff face. You got flashed down towards those compounds, but S2G currently playing on that rocky outcrop on the northern side, just holding out teams on the south here. Tiamba's actually even going to crunch in towards that little bank.
Fine margins between this going wrong for either of these two teams in 4-5s and Alula. So not wanting to risk it too much. Meanwhile, OG crossing past the crosshairs of Nongshim Red Force with Zizzy taking the peak over the top. Got the heavy weaponry ready to rock them if they stay close by. And luckily they have at least been able to create some space between the two. Double back over to the bridge where Rolf is stationed.
Yeah, they know OG's in the area as well. See, Aaron struggled versus them earlier on his flying maneuver into the gas station. Tried to go for the movie entrance, but we went straight to credits instead. Yeah, all hoping to hold them on the bridge side. Next circle, though, I'm feeling the pizza slice here over towards the west. I mean, Aurora currently have a really strong position on it, and we do head over there, in fact. But it's like a case of Aurora holding the central spot. They have a lot of 360 vision, but it's very open, Jackie. This is a very, very open area, a little bit unfun. There's quite a few radio towers and the square concretes that sit underneath them that end up being like where you play. You literally just lie down next to them, try and set up vehicles. You can see Vitality already sending over. But this is quite a nice spot for Aurora. It's a tiny bit of hard cover, a little bit of a crescent lit behind them as well.
Well, that's the last man for Enigma Galaxy, and Ralph trying to stay alive for as long as he can, but finally falls to S2G. S2G possibly being collapsed upon as well by 4-5s. They fall next.
Yeah, good fight. Very good fight from 4-5s. S2G tried to jump the gun there, Jackie, and ran straight into titanium wall. A lot of hopes riding on these three players from Aurora, though. Another good game here. Sits them a little bit further ahead. Make up for that previous match there on Arundel. Not the greatest of pushes across the bridge to begin.
To be fair, with Nigma and S2G going down early, not really acclimating too many points on this one. It could be the dream recovery for Aurora if they can keep it up. Unfortunately for Godlike, unable to withstand the hit that is thrown towards him. Furia will get their mates back up and live on to fight on this one. 4 of our squads out of the running into the 3rd game so far.
Nongshim on that south side, actually trying to push on in, but there's quite a few teams there. Nongshim's just going to barge over towards OG. A Tanky's already down. Another nade towards the backside here. Good damage from Hyunbin, as always. Looking very, very strong. Hits the deck. Good dodge on that. Second nade's a bit stronger, though. Aru now needs to get back into action. The rest of Nongshim Red Force lagging behind as Flash still continues to create a little bit of a nuisance for them in tops.
Back and forth blows, but Orangutan still being able to withstand. Uncomfortable for Nongshim, actually, man. Yeah, that's a nice flick back up towards the Wizard Tower, and it keeps him pinned in position so he can't provide too much Overwatch.
He's in a bad spot now. I mean, no position to help the rest of his team. It's a cool side swipe coming through from tops as well. Caused so many problems on the back line there for Nongshim Red Force. Just weren't quite quick enough. He's going to have an even deeper look into this one. He wants to get up close and personal, investigate. Potentially some more eliminations here left at the crime scene.
He's still trying to get an angle on this. The minute you got to move, he'll be ready for the catch. And Furia over on the other side of the coast have been taking shots over as well, so it's all been a little bit uncomfortable for the 4 squads that have been collapsing in onto that one position. This gas station for OG somehow being a very formidable defensive area.
Oh. Calling it from zone 3 there. I got a little bit lucky, but yeah, Aurora in a really, really good spot now. This is definitely redeemable city here for Aurora. We just need to not see them go for something silly again. That is all.
Yeah, just keep their cards close to their chest and be able to close this one out with some good plays. To be honest, mate, that is kind of the dream with what we saw off the back of this game with the other squads above them falling out early. It has presented that opportunity, and like you say, if they can grab it, you've recovered from that. We can all forget about game two. Everything looks good for them, and they'd actually be on that podium spot in first place come the end of this game. But that's still in the future. Still a lot of other teams that could potentially look to upset them. So we'll stick with the narrative as it develops. This is their position right now. 4 Thrives going in against the arena. Doc looking to decimate some damage out, and he does hit. Nice. Good shot onto Falak. A little bit more they can do here.
I like that, though. Good smoke. Over towards the rock side to kind of isolate this engagement between them and 4 Thrives in the arena on the northern edge. Makes a ton of sense to me as well. That vitality location is going to be a real problem for you. That's a long nade. Ooh. Actually hits on target. Great damage, and they just keep on pumping in. 4 Thrives are out. But yeah, I mean, that's some massively long nades on that one.
Just chaining them together as well, one after another, after another. They want to go in to grab the bits, drop the smoke, try and stay alive. Issue is you're now in a position where other teams can take shots onto you for free.
Yeah. Good. I mean, Doc is holding on. He is holding on. I think he's got that mentality where it's like, well, I'm sorry guys, I ran out that time. I will play anchor for the rest of the day, and I will keep you lads safe. It's a good shot over towards Silence. The rest of Fury, you need to re-angle over towards it, but it takes a gun away from that western side. But Aurora had to do that. They had to push over towards 4 Thrives. They knew that it's not likely in the near future they're going to be getting many more death crates, and they need that util. They need that ammo to carry on inside of this match. Tiamba, though, looming off in the wings.
Had to restock and get themselves ready for what's yet to come. Tiamba, they've been doing a pretty effective job of harassing a lot of our other squads from distance as well throughout the past couple minutes, keeping pressure on them. Playing a little bit safer here in their setup. Window peek with good eye line onto some of the other teams. Scarface on the long wrap around back up the coastal ridge over towards the bridge side, going to be coming in from the back near Vitality and Flash. This is his angle on the move. Ooh, spotted out. Starting to lose his HP bit by bit. Got to drop down to the deck and hope that he can hold on.
Kind of unsure how he's lived this long. I mean, Tops has got to know someone's mover here, the pitter-patter of the footfall. Close the distance. Scarface is instead just going to go for the heel. Tops pulls the pin. He should know. It should be right on the edge of the blue here. Good airburst will do the trick. Ruins the amount of healing that came through there. Aura from the sidelines, though, will get sleepy and over towards Bose. Top, though, is the one to refrag over towards that. Tiamba aching moving forward. Gets behind that radio tower. This is a good spot to aggress over towards Aurora on. But more importantly, hold out on the southeast side. Good nades again. Goodness me, Aurora's having none of it.
You feel the base on that one. More coming as well. Airburst over the top side, trying to arc it round the corner. Ooh. Eagles crossing his fingers, hoping the smoke is enough to get the pick-up play back on Aching to stay alive.
I wonder if they're going to push this, Jackie.
I mean, with a molly, you could. You get the spread on it, just try follow up off the back. You know they're weak.
Oh, man. I think they just wanted to get the flush, at least, but not meant to be. That's a lot of nades invested there for basically nothing. Aking's going to send back one of his own. Now they're fully set up over here on the radio tower. Good Molotovs, man. A bit more damage done. Chip damage from the nades should be good enough. So start to bombard now. They're splitting the difference on these ones. They know they have to go for one side, and it is over towards Doc. Survives the first blaster shrapnel and should survive the second.
So many nades though. And Doc, although the shrapnel hits him in the face, he takes that peek and shuts one player down once again. 6 nades thrown out for no real follow-up from it. So it goes both ways for either of these two teams. Top with the instant adjustment back over onto E Arena. No, he's being collapsed upon from two sides between this team.
Traps now. Get the res on of about dealing with the couple of players inside of that shack right there, and it's hard to line up those nades past the side. Always have that angle of Doc to worry about. He is so critical to his other two teammates living.
Schweppes with a bit of a forward scout play in the buggy. Reading onto it. QZZ was knocked towards the backside. Thing is though, they've been here for so long and they've invested so many nades, so many bullets that they're starting to run dry and can't actually push out to get themselves anything. Availability of crates becoming an all-time premium. The longer this goes on, the worse it gets for Tiamba.
Yeah, they needed a break, honestly, and that break was going to come in, be able to get those shots, get those nades over towards Aurora. E-Arena making a massive swing. Mormon's got 5 nades to play around with too. QZZ finds shots over towards Vitality. They are trying to stop two teams from squeezing them together. But this is a good play. This is actually a good play. It's a desperation play, but it's one that's very much needed for Tiamba right now as A-King moves in. Razak last step alive. Where's the rest of the team? QZZ moves up. How is Razak living this?
Oh, this is unbelievable. Razak raising hell amidst the chaos as he stands strong to punish back. Vitality looked like it was all said and done, but they pop off on that one against Tiamba's clash in, knowing they needed to shut them down to get themselves any sort of ammunition, any kind of supplies to play on. And it does not work how they wanted.
Wild stuff. The arena now. Send some nades in. Joel's the first to fall off the back of that. They have just played this game nice and slow from that northern side, trying not to get too involved in things. They've been saving up these nades for that end game. Mormon will move in and just completely cleans them out. This guy's been unbelievable with the S12K today.
Finishes off the stragglers. Slowly but surely, the team's exit stage left and the final fight begins to have itself set up. Furia coming back in with some of that firepower we had seen prior. Good damage onto E Arena. It's Tony K that's knocked behind the hard cover. Joker looks to wrap over to see if he can save his mate and put them back into an equal situation. 3 versus 4 right now. Schweppes warding off Ayala.
Here goes Mormon, still coming out strong. He wants more on the cage, and they are delivering. He goes down, big player on the squad. Now it's time for the likes of Ayala as well as Chief to stand up tall. E-Arena, they saved all their potential up for that late game though. We saw how much ammo they still had more, how many smokes they still had remaining. This team basically played this one out for the chicken dinner. For E-Arena, it's sort of not worth it unless they get the chicken dinner on this one. The amount they saved up, 5 nades still in the hand of Schweppes. Getting a second place is nice though, but yeah, it's this open ground, disgusting to work with. Furia is lining up for a big old bombardment from E-Arena in the near future though.
As he go down, man, it's kind of so brutal because he really has been this pop-off player for the team. Is that going to be enough of a deficit to really make this one uncomfortable?
For Igors, he's just providing all the information back all the time. Chief moves up over towards the loot crate. The nade has to be invested. Oh man, don't miss on that. Yeah, good. I was thinking that he was going to send it over towards Igors. But he is just calling every single time they pull the pin on this one, when to move and when not to. Finally, the play zone takes him out, and Fury is blind again.
You lose your eyes in the back line and have to rely on your gun skill now. A standoff between these two teams with open space in front of them, waiting to be crunched forth. Silence with the big guns in the back line, ready to spray. A lot of nades invested, dashing them in towards the middle here.
I mean, they're mega blind. I mean, they can't have moved that far. Unless Igor's giving it back the worst information in the world, but... Yeah, I mean, for Fury, I think there's a little bit of scaredness of that front line being aggressed upon. Schweppes pulls the nades. We are playing battleships right now. Grenade to E5. You missed by a mile.
Just dashing them out. He's gone wide, man. Start forest fire out in this field of Erangel right now. Be the best opportunity for them. That one actually hits.
He's happy to drive into it, though. Okay.
Assist.
I mean, I think we could just wait on these nades. There's plenty of time to wait on this one. E-Arena can play off the back of the tree in the near future. Ayala's just going to swing round, right?
Not how I expected the first domino to fall, but that's Ayala going in and opening things up with an advantage for E-Arena.
This is PMWC here at EWC. So, there's been an end game. It has been an end game. Igor's confused everyone. Silence now. Trying to be as quiet as possible. Decent Molotovs, these ones, actually. Trying to catch them on the rotate out. MG3 could make all the difference. Joker's about to send this nade back into the blue.
A little bit of a pre-fire. Problem is, the info goes both ways. Silence got a good read of what angle they're actually playing from now.
Oof. He actually did.
Oh, okay. Chief with a peek up. There you go. Follow up off the back of it. Let's see if they can deal some damage. Silence peeks up. Warning shots out. Low on health. Got about half left to play with. Runs in towards the tree. He's got the shotty in his hands now. Yeah, all right. It's all kicking off here. They're going to be able to find it through in the end. E-Arena do clutch on. A bit of a topsy-turvy one, but a chicken dinner they'll still be proud of.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you, really? Good game from E-Arena. I think that the game plan was great. I think everyone confused one another right at the end. Igor's, as he went down, I think he might have thrown out some information that was maybe less than useful. Unfortunate stuff. To be fair, whilst he was still alive, they had a real good pinpoint on what E-Arena was doing. So I am joking. It's a joke, guys. I do think Igor's a great player. But yeah, still a weird endgame.
Yeah, it was a lot of utility investment with not too much information. Kind of felt like it was, we don't want to push, so we're just going to lob everything.
Yeah.
And then have that respectful gunfight once we get in.
Exactly. Because I do think that for E-Arena, they just wait a little bit longer, play up towards the tree line. With the amount of nades they had, they could have blanketed the entire thing. But even then, they were like bouncing them out into the blues. It's a little strange. Was a little strange. And you're right. I also did not expect that to be the first domino to fall, which was just Isla just getting mega impatient.
After all that waiting, it was kind of really like a curveball just came in. Swift gut punch. Didn't expect that.
I know they're behind. I'm just going to go for it. All right. Confirmed. That's where they are. You're dead, Isla. That's where they are, lads.
Yeah, I got the info.
Okay.
Got the info.
Info game. Sick of playing battleships. But yeah, overall, I think if we look a little bit prior into that game, I think Aurora, the way they set themselves up, not bad, but there was a couple moments where it got real hectic. I think a lot of teams made it far into that end game. Tiamba play out that radio tower really, really well. Even I think Tiamba's decision-making does require bringing up a little bit. The fact that they decided to push over towards Vitality in that moment, the play almost works, but the speed at which they do it, like we're getting crunched right now, we have to just fly over towards this team and take them out. They have no qualms about just fully going for it. I really like that, and I think that that's the type of playstyle that's going to win you games more often than it loses them.
No, absolutely. I think, again, that was one where it was like Razak just kind of popped off on the hold.
Yes.
Honestly, it was better play from him than it was bad play from them. He
Exactly,
just popped off on a solo mission where it's like, oh, fair play. You've actually kind of owned us there.
Yeah.
But what the play was meant to do was great. They needed ammo, they needed supplies, and they went for it. So
Absolutely.
it was a head-on call.
It was the right thing to do. And the right thing for us to do right now is to go for a little moment with the boys over on the stage. And we'll be back real soon.
Powers here at PMWC 26, joined by John Allen, Kalaris, and Neptura, and we're playing a round of Hot Drop Dance.
Ooh, we're going to be getting stuck into the board, hopefully. Maybe not for some. Some are having a bit of trouble during practice, but we're going to be taking some shots at the board. The person with the least score is going to have to give their hot take, so let's jump into it. You guys, I think you two have to go first.
I think we get Nep up there first. Let's get Nep's in a prime position for this. I feel like I'm in the danger zone.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Get ready to dodge.
Oh, it's your best one. Yeah, that's
it's on the board. All right,
Very much.
let's
I'm here
shuffle
till
up.
Thursday.
And Kalaris up to the bat. Oh, okay, all right.
Okay. This is good. This is good. There you go, James. There you go.
Shuffle in.
Thank you. Don't hit me, please. Oh, it's a 17. Currently, Neptune last with 6.
No way. Oh, a double 17.
It's a triple 17.
It's a triple one, I don't know.
That means Neptura is last.
Are
There
you
go.
serious?
Yep. What's your hot take, Neptura?
My hot take is that the Uzi is a bad weapon and shouldn't be played. That's,
you go.
That's it. Wait.
This one was Neptura.
That one was mine.
bullseye.
No, it's in 25.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
It's you.
Well, she's already done a hot take now, so.
Wait. You did that on purpose.
No,
you.
no, I didn't do anything. All right, here. Go on.
John starting us off. Let's see. Oh, hey.
A 5.
It's
Not
in.
bad.
That's all that matters, really.
It's on the board.
Here we go.
I haven't missed.
Kalaris now. Forearm strength. It's good. It's good.
Ooh, that could be a treble.
That's nice.
Get out of the danger zone. The splash zone's coming for you, Kale.
Good match.
Whoa. Oh, that's a triple.
Okay.
Triple 3.
God. All right, here you
Oh.
go, mate. Take this.
I'm pretty sure it's currently the lowest. Wait, no, it's not.
I'm
John's
on a
the
5.
lowest. Yes, John's the lowest.
Or is that a 2? It's a 5, I think.
It's a 5.
Oh, and that's a 2.
That is a 2.
I've been saved by the upside down
It's true.
version of my own
Jackie,
number.
it's your turn.
There you go.
Okay. Hot take. Dino Park and Vikendi, infinitely better than Ronda. I miss it. Bring it back.
Oh, okay.
All right, considering I actually lost the first round, I should probably do a hot take because I cheated you out of it. I'm so sorry. Tiamba will not win PMWC despite looking really good.
I feel like I've got to follow in with a hot take as well.
Oh, okay.
I feel like over-reliance on ARs, nonsense. I want DMRs in, give the players a little bit more expression in the secondary slot, you know? Those submachine guns, something else popping in. Give a little bit more individuality. That's what I want to see.
I like it.
Don't give me this mic. You know what I want? I want all of your opinions from the viewers at home. You in the chat. Tell us what you think. Let us know right here, right now. What are your controversial takes?
And I think so. Let's go. I think 3 गेम हो चुके. तो 3 गेम 4 गेम हो. 3 I think 3 गेम हुए. 3 गेम I think और बाकी है. अभी फिलहाल 3 गेम हुए. चल भाई लोग. Let's go. अरे 3 दिन का फाइनल है. पहला है कल, फिर है दूसरा, फिर एक दिन और होने. हर दिन जो है 6 मैचेस बाय द वे. हर दिन गाइस 6 मैचेस. हर दिन बाय द वे 6 मैचेस है वो बाय द वे
mistaken, Niftyra, I think you actually won at darts, and I think you got that chicken dinner.
I did.
You were lied to, but
very mad.
In this last game, E-Arena wasn't lied to, Max, because E-Arena came out with the win.
I never know how to react to an E-Arena win now since that Rondo 39-pointer. I'm like, okay, that's great. That's a cool win. But what's next? No, it genuinely was a good game. It was very open-ended finish between Furia and E-Arena. I think it was kind of even-steven until eventually Ayala got a little bit overly aggressive on that push, and he gave them an advantage, and E-Arena using every resource they had available to get that win. Good to see, but again, I need to see that continue in your next coming matches.
Take it away, Lace. I know you've been wanting to talk about this team for a minute.
I am revoking your driver's license because I was waiting for the Furia drive by Max. E-Arena, honestly, they deserved that win because of Furia and their driving and not taking that position early on. I mean, I liked the way that they sort of held out E-Arena early on in the map. They had Silence kind of scouting Vitality's movements right down at the south side. So this was such a better play from them. They're actually defending and looking where other teams are sort of pushing into that position. They had such a strong split hold. Obviously, a little bit of tunnel vision coming out of some of the players there, and then I don't know what the vehicle situation was, and you could hear me screaming in the back, he's like catching nades with the vehicle as well, and I'm like, what plan is this? They had such a strong position after getting like
this one,
after moving their way into zone on the rotation on the southern side, Max.
Look,
I'll give you my pack, Niftyra. I'm really upset.
I know what happened, actually. I was talking tonight. I saw him as we were leaving the talent room, and I asked him, like, what was the play with Ayala? And he said the idea for Ayala was to get an off angle on the team and actually catch them from behind. But then he saw two players and he got scared. And that's the thing is, right, lack of information will make you do these kind of mistakes. So it could have been a good idea, and catching nades didn't work out. It could have been great, but unfortunately, two-player setup was exactly what E-Arena needed in case of those kind of pushes coming their way.
That was just a big, something I like to call, what the Furia. WTF, because that's exactly what ended up happening with that one. I've been working on that one all day, especially with the way that they were playing earlier. There was a squad, though, that was able to put up a good amount of eliminations, and it was none other than Aurora. Aurora, once again, Niftyra being able to back it up with the limbs, even though they wasted a lot of utility with Tiamba.
They did wait. It was a big old red zone, and it was fairly unnecessary. However, it does get you those points, right? And it's been really nice to see them actually, because I think in the group stage, right, we saw them just doing just enough to get into the top 5, just enough to get to where they wanted to be. Now we're seeing true Aurora here. Now we're seeing the team that we're used to seeing, and I'm really enjoying that. I think they've actually played a lot better, right? They're very even. They're not splitting. Doc's not doing his thing. He's staying with his team, and Rifus, Enzio, we've seen some really cool off angles from them, so very happy with them.
And something that I enjoy seeing there, especially out of that graphic, Max, is Top being able to bounce back. Remember, earlier in the previous match before this one, Top was on top of the bridge. It didn't end up working out for him, but 4 elims out of him, a person that has been an MVP before on an international finals, that's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, really happy. I mean, the best way to describe it is what you said, Niftyra. They became a red zone at that moment in that game, and I love the way that any team would get in contention of their zone, they would start just nading them to hell and back. So Aurora playing it really well. I am still not sold on their performances so far. I feel like there's still a lack of fragging power that they used to have in the past. Doc is underperforming quite significantly. So Top, GG's, I'm loving it. Ziol too had some great moments, especially in that Rondo. But Doc, he's still sleeping right now. He needs to wake up.
Wake up, Doc. Wake up. Just make sure you don't start going away from your team, because that's when things ends up falling apart for Aurora. But Aurora, honestly, 36 points, currently tied. But the tiebreaker does go to E-Arena with that win that they ended up getting. Tiamba, though. Tiamba right now, the aggressiveness that we've been seeing out of this team, if you want to give the mic to Lace, they're truly putting up those numbers, Lace, because 27 eliminations for that squad and only 4 placement points.
Yeah, I see. This is what I'm saying. They're finding those fights. They're gathering those eliminations, finding a nice power play position, but then unfortunately losing it, which is where we see the decline in placement points. But obviously this is still a really good trend for them, especially coming out of survivals into this sort of scenario, and to have that amount of points and that sort of trajectory is incredibly good for them. But of course, we got to bring it back to kind of the smash rule and the way that you have to gather these eliminations. It's fine. It's good to do it, obviously, today, but then we got to see more of those placement points and those wins out of them to be able to take more than that.
100%. And another team that's currently doing that, Max, it's none other than Nangshem. And I know you weren't quite happy with what Nangshem, especially Human, was doing that last game.
Yeah, initially I love the way they initiate the fight onto, I think it was Orangutan in that gas station. I'm like, okay, you've got some solid off angles, I like it, they're pushing the fight. But the thing is about off angles, they lose effectiveness the longer the fight goes on. And I think it was one of the play on the Harry Potter Tower, he had a great line of sight, but eventually Orangutan know you have that line of sight, so they're not going to peek you that aggressively. That would be the prime time for them to regroup, fully commit to the fight and send it, and hopefully come out on top. But they're very slow to respond to these moments, and I'm very upset with their opening performances so far.
Yeah, one team talking about aggressive, talking about people committing to a fight. We saw Enigma Galaxy and Ida finally commit to that hot drop, and if I'm being completely honest, I don't want to see it. I don't care about it. Leave that ego to some other time, because right now it's going to be hurting those two teams.
Yeah, it is, and we did see Fourth Thrive take advantage of what's been going on there, right? Just dropping in on, trying to get a few limbs and then move back to their position. They were trying to punish that as much as possible, just because it's kind of silly. In the finals, maybe day one, you kind of get away with it, but keep on doing it. It's not going to work out. Fourth Thrives knew that, and, you know, they might not be the only team to take advantage of that if the playing path's a little funny. If that keeps happening, other teams might just third-party that.
Yeah, they will end up third-partying that. We saw there towards the bottom of the leaderboard as well. Godlike, OG, currently not being able to put up those numbers. Those are two teams that are looking to bounce back. But right now, we are halfway through that mark. Lace, any team that has surprised you so far?
I would just like to say that, like, I'm very proud of you, Furia. You know, I know I was a little bit mad in that situation, and I was surprised about you in the first couple of games, and I just want to make it note that that was a much better performance, but still I'm taking your driver's license away.
That was a good performance. Next time you ever take my mic, Lace, this big old chicken is going to be hitting your head once again. But as we're getting ready here for match 4, let's send it over to none other than Barney and Luti.
Luti, yeah, you know how last week we were talking about how to win PMWC?
Oh, yeah, the big secret I told everyone.
You gave everyone some incredible insight for those of you at home that were listening. Teams were listening as well. Aurora Gaming, Tiamba, the Arena, they're playing very well at the moment.
Indeed.
But let's break it down into the finer details.
Oh, okay,
so I want to ask you a little bit more. Okay, so what's the best map to capitalize on points?
I mean, there is different teams with different play styles, so it depends.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay, it depends. Yeah. How about vehicles for late rotations, getting into a good position? What's the best vehicle to use?
The horse, the buggy, and so different maps. So it depends.
It depends.
Yeah, as well. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Utility, okay, so end of game, smokes, nades, medical packs, bandages. What's the best thing to have in your arsenal?
I mean, depending your situation with the cycle, so I will answer, it depends.
It depends.
Yeah.
Okay. Luti.
It's not that easy,
Luti. What's the best gun in the game?
I mean,
let me guess. It depends. Sacre bleu.
No, Barney. Everyone knows it's a P90. No, depends. Okay, back to you, casters. I hope you're ready. It depends.
And yeah, he's right. The P90 is where it's at. But we are here live in the finals, getting ready for the last 3 matches.
Absolutely. We have got a great day unfolding before us. We've had some real step-ups from a lot of teams coming on through, some great rotations, some insertions, some side swipes into those zones. That S2G hovercraft double roll-up, that was looking pretty, but we're going to be sending ourselves once again over to Erangel to find ourselves one more chicken dinner.
Let's see who's gonna get it. Yeah, I mean, this is it, the last Erangel of the day, and it's time to put up some serious points. I mean, we're still super early in this tournament, but we're already starting to see some teams, right, make some things happen. I was able to talk to one player in particular. As we were getting into this game, I happened to see S-Power from Godlike. The hair is hard to miss. I went up to the man and said, hey, you know what? Give me 3 words before we get into this next match. And he said, domination
begins.
Ooh, using a whole word on the. That is bold. That's the sort of confidence that you want to see coming through. For Godlike, they do want to try and push a little bit further up those tables, try and get in the competition for those top spots. Of course, having only seen 3 matches, we are still in a fairly uncertain situation, in a state of flux when it comes to those tables. Obviously, some performances standing out more than others, but it's definitely still achievable because of the fact that we have got an 18-match set, right? We've been playing so far on 12-match sets time and time again, but moving over to that expanded 3-day approach, that 18 set, that's where consistency really comes into play. So it's teams that are able to earn 6, 7, 8 points on those games that are going to be the teams that will take those top spots, those podium positions.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, it's all about putting up as many points as you can early on, and consistency is going to be the key here at the end of the day. I mean, we saw in the group stage, right, E-Arena, 39 points in one single game, and they weren't even able to make it. I mean, straight to the finals. They had to deal with the survival stage, and let's be honest, I mean, luckily we're able to get here, right? So, I mean, but they're crushing it now. They did a great job in that last game, right? And so they're off to a strong start. Let's just see if they're able to keep that pedal to the metal. Aurora starting off strong is really good because historically, they've always taken a long time, right, to really get warmed up. But for them to put some points on the board early just goes to show that come finals time, they're adjusting their strategies and it's working out for them.
Maybe able to finally claim a title spot, you know, that's what they're going to be looking for. Plenty of other teams looking to do so as well. I know there's plenty of fans in the crowd for Furia who are there, really giving them their backing, which has been nice to see. Hopefully they can keep up the pace towards the top side as well. But yeah, I mean, there is so much on the line. That trophy, a threat to so many, but a promise to only one of our teams.
Man, one of the sickest trophies you could put on your shelf. I love every single year I see it. I'm like, oh, you gotta get one. And this is what these teams have been hunting for. They've been working all year long to get here. And we can tell the teams that have prepped, and it's every single one of them. It's wild to see all these names, and the level of competition has never been so even, in my opinion, right? I mean, there is squads all across the board. They get a good couple zones, good couple situations. They're not messing around. They're going to take full advantage of it here. You talked about Furia, right? I think it's only a matter of time before we see them get a chicken dinner. We got to see some keys a little earlier. We saw that Team Vitality key, Tianba, 2 monster squads as well. So it's just really about that consistently, like you talked about. But you know what? We're in the final Erangel of the day, John. One thing that stands out to me, without a shadow of doubt, is Pachinki, right? What is going on there? That last game has to mean that something's got to switch up, right?
It has to. Something definitely has to change. For me, I feel like Enigma Galaxy, they kind of, well, certainly we know how consistently Ralph will just sacrifice tournaments to hold on to Pachinki. So for me, I'm just unsure as to why Ida made the decision to stick to that drop spot. There are obviously other opportunities, and it's sort of, it reads ego to me. It reads ego that they aren't disengaging. I liked 4 Thrive's adjustment. They were able to get in. They were able to get, I think, 2 eliminations right at the start of the match. Really, really nice stuff from that very peer position that they normally drop around. They were able to move on up. They exploited that situation. But I think that the second good decision that 4 Thrive's made in that scenario was not to hunt down Ralph, right? Because he's a solo. He's hiding in a corner. You don't know exactly where he is. You disengage. You don't go hunting, because a solo in a corner in Pachinki, you could lose a player to that very, very easily. So I liked their withdrawal there coming on through. The other side of a hot drop in Pachinki that is a massive factor, certainly for later into the mid and later game, is the fact that in a hot drop, you don't get that loot truck, and you can't get it double either, which means that it went over to Vitality during that last match. It goes over to other teams who just sit on that northwest side. It's also an incredibly clear indicator that a hot drop is happening to a team out there, so they can grab that one and send on in to maybe pick up the pieces.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the highlights here before we get started, as these teams are going to get locked and loaded here in just a second here, folks. But yeah, you know, when we go back to that hot drop, it's wild to see. I've been kind of watching these two teams talk to each other all along here in Paris. and I'd see, you know, Enigma Galaxy players walk by IDA players and kind of have some exchanging of words, and I was hoping they would kind of get this settled before the finals, because I think it's just a devastating loss for this to continue here for both of them. And in the last game, it showed, just like, because guess what? 4 Thrives. They came to party right after. They were like, oh, you know what? There's a silly fight happening in Pachinki. We'll take those eliminations, and they got some of them, right? So I think now that you have 4 Thrives, especially now on the hunt for this, it's got to make, you know, IDA and Enigma Galaxy have to start second thinking, I think, some things. But at the end of the day, like you said it, you know, for those of you guys that don't know Ralph's true name, it's Ralph Pachinki Sanchez Montero III. Okay. Pachinki is in the name, all right? And he will refuse to let it go. And I mean, they've dominated it, right? We saw them be able to take out EWC, but now that you have 4 Thrives coming into play, it's got to make you second guess things.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that dropping in Pachinki is in Ralph's will somewhere.
Yeah.
For when he eventually, hopefully, in the very far future. But if he keeps dropping in Pachinki in-game, he's certainly not going to have a long life expectancy. Aurora Gaming able to do the business, but we are going to head to a quick video whilst we get this lobby ready to rock for our last Pachinki today.
स्टार्ट नहीं आगे बाद स्टार्ट मोड अभी तक तो फिलहाल नहीं है गाइस, और इसके 2 गेम और गेम के बाद बताओ
즐겨보겠습니다. 가시죠.
के बाद 2 Hey. है 3 दिन का 2 दिन और कल और आई थिंक हर दिन 6 मैच, आज 6 मैच है, तो हर दिन के बाद कुछ टीम जो है बाहर हो जाएगी। आज के बाद बाहर होगी, फिर कल के बाद, और अंतिम में टॉप 5 टीम हो तो फाइनल में तीसरा जो
If we may have a 4th, a 5th, or maybe even more teams, perhaps everybody is going to Pachinki. It's going to be a 64-player brawl in the center of the map.
It's time to see what exactly is going to happen as we get into the map. Final Erangel of day 1 of the finals. Now let's see who's going to be able to put some serious points on the board before we get into the sandy deserts of Miramar.
I mean, I'll take non-serious points at this stage. Of course, every single team would as well. Plane path on the west side of the mainland here, coming through from North George to the west point of Sosnovka military base, and it will be going fairly close to Pachinki, so we're not going to be denied it by the plane path. Hora out early over towards Severny, Tiamba over into North George. I'm keeping an eye out to see if any of our teams on the hot drop are going somewhere else, but I'm really not holding my breath.
I kind of am here. You know what? I will say, yeah, you can see already. Look at that. Looks like we're going to see another hot drop in Pachinki as Ida and Enigma Galaxy are headed in that direction.
Uh-oh.
Very, very interesting. I will say, though, we got to give massive props to Enigma Galaxy for being so high up on the leaderboards, considering that they've been dealing with this all day long here. I mean, they're in 4th place, 30 points. That's pretty insane.
Sure, I mean, they were able to take a chicken dinner towards the start of the day, right? So they do have a little bit of a foundation to try and do this with, but they could be so much further ahead without this situation. It looks like we're not going to see a 4th Thrives flex out. Instead, S2G are the closest by on the southwest side. Nongshim Red Force, who have yet to touch the floor of their parachute, could potentially also flex in from the southeast side, but I feel like S2G are the most likely right now to cause problems for Ida. Enigma Galaxy on the north side of Pachinki, they're split right now, but you can see Rita on that off angle could be quite important. Ralph, seems like they know he's in this building, but the nade won't connect.
Yeah, that was a warning nade for sure. You can see Satan up on the roof here, or on this ledge, trying to get a little bit of information. He knows exactly where Rita is. It's a big stalemate, though. This is the hard part about these hot drops, and I can hear it. That loot truck is now driving on by. The precious loot. Satan's like, that should have been ours. I want it. No. Oh, Lord gets knocked. And did he get thirsted? No, he actually gets beat up pretty bad. Satan, through the door! What a clutch knock for this team.
Able to take out the off angle there, and Ida are going to really struggle to get back to this one. It's across the road, and I don't think you can break past that. The res, though, in the meantime, is going to be there, and because it's so early in the game, it's so much less likely that you've got the nades on side to just completely suppress that res position, which allows Enigma Galaxy to go back to 4 and leaves Ida stranded on 3. Rita getting knocked there is the most crucial part of that fight, Jukes.
Man, that was an insane shot there from Satan. I mean, that's that game sense, guys. Shooting right through the door. He knew he was there, and he makes the play for his team. It's one of those micro plays, right? That when you make that kind of play, it just changes the entire situation for your squad. And now, because of that, Enigma Galaxy up ahead against Ida.
They still have to get a little bit more pace to it, though, and Ida are retreating now right to the southeast point of Pachinki. They've read that immediately Satan can move out, get this position on the off angle that they were previously in control of. The fact that they're aware of that is good, but you're just going to keep losing players. At this stage, I feel like Enigma Galaxy definitely have had a better result so far in this Pachinki hot drop. They were very ready for it. As you said, they will have known, they will have been aware that this is unfurled.
Yeah, and what are you going to do if you're Ida at this point? I mean, look where they're at on the leaderboards. I mean, this is crazy. 16th place, only 2 points so far. If I'm their coach, anybody that is in the leadership of this team, I'm like, give it up, guys. We lost. I mean, I get it, right? Day 1, you're going to battle it out with Enigma Galaxy to see if you can conquer this location, but it's an L. Like, you got to at some point realize that this is not going to work for us. If we want to be able to do well in this tournament, I mean, Erangel is the majority of the maps we're going to be playing here. We cannot afford to continue doing this.
It is pretty devastating. They have only lost 1 player this time around, but the loot is going to be fairly thin on the ground. The vehicle condition, like, I don't know, man. It's really cutting the legs out from underneath themselves.
It's terrible. I mean, you're down a player, you don't get the loot truck, you don't get any, you're under looted at this point. I mean, it's just a loss overall, and where they stand on the leaderboards is a pure reflection of that. So, yeah, you know, I always say that when it comes to these kind of hot drops or these situations in general, I really do think these need to be settled in rehearsals, you know, in the pre-matches, where it's like, hey, you know what, guys? Have a little handshake agreement. We're going to drop in Pachinki this game. Whoever wins it gets it, you know? Fair enough.
Yeah, well, I don't think that would ever happen. But, yeah, I mean, I kind of understand. It is a question, right, that is rooted in a lot more, I think, subjective opinion for a lot of people. Sure. Because you have that question of, if we give up our drop spot, are we just going to be easily pushed around in the future, right? Like, are you trying to do that sort of thing? I mean, it's like negotiating contracts, negotiating business there. It is one strategy is to just be like, okay, we'll go somewhere else. We'll go somewhere else. But you can hold your nerve. And if you guys want to be the best, then you guys need to hold your nerve, and you can look good doing it using the Naruto skins here. Make sure you're heading into game, get that character set, get that Ninetales Fury AUG skin, get that one developing as well, because you can get some variations on that bad boy.
Yeah, you want to be maxing that bad boy out and looking real good. As you know, Tiambos have been looking really good today. They're in 4th place, 31 points. Milu, man, the way he started off that Rondo match was just
crazy.
wild. I mean, this man has been performing all tournament long for his squad. He had, for sure, right, the play of the tournament. That 1v4 earlier in the group stage was so sick.
Yeah.
And then come finals time, the way that he started out, they are looking really good.
Absolutely. They are currently in 4th place right now. Looking to try and keep themselves within striking distance of that 1st place spot, Godlike. Would love to try and join them, but they are a little bit more destitute on that points front, with only 8 towards the bottom of those tables. Another circle heading up towards the north side, split by that central river. A lot of open ground south of Severny, being covered actually mostly by Aura, who have a wide spread around the river, are causing a lot of problems. I'm interested to see how many teams look to head east of Yasnaya. Furia likely going to do so. Could potentially see that from teams who are still on the military island, by the way, Aurora and Al-Ula. And maybe we'll see it from one of the 2 teams who are still in Pochinki too, because, well, it looks like either looking to push back in and re-engage. Enigma Galaxy have been working the ground in the meantime, snaffling up all that loot and checking every corner. Or at least I hope they are.
Yeah, they better be, that's for sure. I mean, you can definitely tell they're keeping their head on a swivel here. They got to know that Ida's around here somewhere. They're just clearing building by building with Satan on the other side, rocking a 3-1 split. Got to be careful, though. 1 day could be dangerous. Oh, the shots ring on out, and the knock onto Coops is huge.
He's got another nade as well. Coops is in danger here. Ralph does need to get some healing done before he can go for that revive, but he should be okay to do it. You can't step forwards and go for the cross. And again, Satan is on that off angle. Just about misses Swain on the cross, but he should be able to call that one out. Should have spotted it. Lord is already cooking a nade. He knows he's in the building now. Launches it forwards, and he takes it down. Beautiful communication.
The plays from Enigma Galaxy in Pochinki are just insane. How do they do these wild bounce back shots, nades that just turn the fight in their direction? This just goes to show you, when you know this side of the map like the back of your hand, it's gonna pay dividends.
In the meantime, Nongshim Red Force and 4th Rise are going head-to-head. And at the moment, it looks like 4th Rise are in the driver's seat. This is out to the east side of Potato Hill, but they are grabbing a couple of flushes on board as well. As we keep going with this hot drop, though. Yeah, Nongshim Red Force, they're going to try and get out, just leave a solo survivor coming on through. And another knock goes on in. This is Enigma Galaxy sweeping it under the rug. They're putting this hot drop to bed. It cannot come back tomorrow. It would be a terrible idea.
I can't stress how difficult this is to do, right? To be able to deal with this hot drop so frequently and to just execute in this perfect fashion. I mean, not losing a single player, getting those 4 points early on is just insane.
There was a hard north shift on the circle in the meantime. We are watching all of this hot drop unfold, but it is pushing teams now north very, very quickly, which is causing conflict around the crossings as Coops finds the final player on Ida. And down they go. All 4 players from Enigma Galaxy are there, and no third party came on through as well. Now we're going to jump over towards the teams that are looking to put pressure on up towards the north side. We talked a little bit about Nongshim Red Force losing 3 of their players. 4th Rise lost 1, but they did manage to get the 3 points for that fight. They are both still south of the river. Ulf Orangutan now on this northern side of Roshok River, and trying to get their foothold to move in towards those shooting range hills, potentially over towards Severny Way.
Yeah, we've been really focused on that Pochinki fight for so long. This zone is all the way up to the north, like you mentioned. We already got Fudia up there in Severny, E-Arena over by shooting range right now, taking that Snake Hill position. And now we're gonna see a lot of these teams start make that rotation. Aurora Gaming, oh, the one rock! You gotta hit it for good luck.
That's a map open right there. Guaranteed. 100% looking at the map.
Yeah.
No ways.
I think we're going to go here, guys.
He's going to go again? Oh, no. Oh, okay, we're getting a little replay. This is on the 4th Rise and Nongshim Red Force fight. They'd already lost T24, but the hold from Hazaifa, the angles that he was able to clock, it seems, pretty efficacious on the high ground there. Love to see it. for 4 Thrives. Aurora on their crossing, run into Vitality. Looks like they may have run their last across these bridges. This western hold looking quite good for Vitality, who, for the time being, have been a little bit quieter, I think it's safe to say, than their group stage performances, but they're still very much there. They're still very much present. Certainly their presence is being felt by Aurora on their northwest side.
Vitality. Oh, southern shift here, and a big southern shift. This actually might be really good for the side of Enigma Galaxy, as they're going to be mushing in super late here. And are you kidding me? If this zone actually south shifts one more time to Roz, that would be devastating for this lobby. Aurora, I'm trying to figure out, what do you think they're doing here, right? They're over there by North George splitting up, maybe trying to find some late loot.
Well, I mean, they were being held out by Vitality, right? So they're just trying to take a turn around the town to maybe allow Vitality to disengage and then maybe re-engage later on, see what they can do with a little bit less pressure from the river crossing on that front. Team Flash over on the east side need to settle their score with Alula to try and get towards the circle. And it is not looking pretty for Alula. They lose a player. Not a good start, but yeah, it would be kind of mental to send all the way down to Rozhok. It'd be great for Enigma Galaxy, right? They're still just on the north side of Pachinki, so they could just take up that mountain and lickety-split, get themselves another chicken dinner. Godlike, in the meantime, on the hunt in the middle. Getting stuff done, getting bits out to Aura, and it seems that they are going to be able to take at least one and get the flush for Godlike.
Mormon, the nade looks good, puts them all the way down to 1 HP. Mormon, pow, pow, pow. That's 12K getting the finish. And look at that. I mean, teammate instantly there with the vehicle to make sure that they can get him over to safety. So Aura going to have to go out pretty early here in this game. Only one single player up, see what he can do later on. But now we're off to the gas station with a Furia. Keeping their eyes onto Team Flash. Win has the P90 and the ghillie suit. So he definitely won that crate drop. He came out absolutely stacked to the teeth and hits the tree for good luck. That is a necessary thing to do here, folks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bold
just
strategy.
Little tap on the tree.
Little tap, tap, tap.
Little shout out to Mother Nature there, just saying hi. And then...
Gotta make sure it's secure.
Yeah, and then proceeding to unleash lead into the hillsides around him. Hopefully. With that P90. Team Flash getting out of dodge from this east side could be tricky. S2G managed to make their way to one of the buildings here that is this lineup from S2G, from Orangutan, from Tianba, and from Ulf. On this lineup, very central on the circle, some very defensible positions, but teams will start to crowd in around them. Vitality and Aurora, this is the re-engage, Dukes.
Here they go, they're battling it again, and it looks like Aurora are on top so far with that knock on a Razak. Here you can see Zol driving around, trying to get some information. Federalis up close and personal, having to run back. Oh, it's Godlike on the other side. Yeah, that's too dangerous. Vitality need to disengage this, as their 6 is not covered, but Razy is driving up close and personal, giving an opportunity for Reefus to put some shots onto him. And yeah, it's just down to these 2 players left for Aurora. This fight would have definitely went off earlier, but that third party from Godlike bought Aurora Gaming some time.
A little bit, but now they're down to 2. And Vitality doing a little bit of nade there, not ideal. E-Arena in the meantime trying to find their way in on the north side, but it's not looking super accessible right now. And now seems like they're engaged with the final player from Horror. Sleepy is holding it, but in the meantime a crash. S2G trying to roll across, but Tiamba are holding face against it, and they are not going to let S2G in without a fight. Aurora want to jump in and join the party here. A nade in, that could be brutal there, right under his feet. Is it going to blast him down? But there's an answer, and Reefus falls. A third knock over towards Tiamba, but now everybody has been isolated and evacuated from this fight. Nobody's left to put the pressure on this triple knock.
Are you kidding me? It looked like these guys were fighting in a lake of fire here. QZ in the center of it, and Top could have been there to make that play, but unfortunately there are too many teams surrounding him, and it stopped that crucial third party.
Oh, another nade from Top. Doesn't quite connect there. There is an answering nade, and that is going to back Top off nicely. The run around there. Orangutan maybe missing a beat there, maybe missing a trick, not able to flex out, didn't quite have the angles on it.
Top!
Oh, Top just about behind the concrete there to keep him safe from catch, but they know exactly where he is. He's got 2 smokes. He is slap bang in the middle of the circle though, Jukes, and that might be a little bit of a help until another team rocks up with nowhere to go. They're going to roll right on top of this guy.
Yeah, Top's cooked right now. He's just like, I think I'm just going to lay down right here.
He's on the simmer.
For as long as I possibly can. No standing up for me. It's straight hit the deck time on the side of Top. But hey, you know what? That's good, right? He's got a good position in zone. They're pretty high up on the leaderboard, so they can just kind of hang on and get some placement points. That'll be good for him. But meanwhile, I mean, Tianba on a tear. 7 eliminations. Fortunate for them. They're able to get everybody back up here, and they're in a solid position in this circle as we now look on over to Furia. Igor hopping out the vehicle here, getting punished by E-Arena for it.
Oh, it's not going well. It is not going well for Furia. Unfortunate, they're just going to be down to Chief, the other 2 players down on the hillside. Tianba, by the way, managed to fend off a triple team crash on their compound, right? They're now on 7 eliminations. They have done phenomenal stuff. It's likely they're going to have to fend off at least 1 more, but the number of crates around them is going to be ludicrous. They're going to have to try and figure out exactly what they want to put in their backpacks as Flash try to find their way through, thread the needle, but E-Arena are just going to roll it down. Mormon over the top, doesn't even need to ring the doorbell to open that door. And Tops has to turn tail. Turney K sees to it. He's going to get backed off by a third party. I think that might be Orangutan chiming in. And now Tops has to head towards 4th Thrive, so nowhere real to go for him as Hyunbin finally bites the dust, the last player alive for Nongshim Red Force.
E-Arena are putting some good points on the board here. I mean, they're having to really battle it out, holding the edge of that circle, because there's a lot of open field in this zone. And now you're going to see 4 Thrives. 6 eliminations so far. Falak with 2, Zypha with 3.
It's keeping Rozog in.
Oh my, I just saw that circle shift. Are you kidding me? Enigma Galaxy, they'll take that all day long, right? Hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to get a little reward for those crazy hot drop efforts, and they'll definitely take that one to the bank.
Yeah, that's going to be friendly for them for the time being. For them, I feel like a good strategy is to start scouting the other side of the river now, though. I feel like you need to get someone in fast. The difficulty, of course, is that 4 Thrives, and now Vitality is starting to move in, and they don't have an outpost there. Move over to the bridge, a little bit out of the zone.
Yeah.
I feel like somehow you've got to find a coastal position on that riverbank. And if you hold towards the warehouse, towards the triple stack, it's just going to be a bleed out for Enigma Galaxy. The placements aren't really going to be enough. Yeah, I want a little bit more forward thinking there as Aurora lose their final player. Top could not stay in for too much longer. 4 Thrives though, getting crashed on.
Here they go. E-Arena not messing around here, just full sending it, non-stop aggression from this team. And it's been paying off so far, and that's why you can see them on top. Mormon hopping on out, trying to hit that flick shot onto Zypha. Zypha's really hurt here. Great teamwork though from E-Arena, picking apart the likes of 4 Thrives.
Zypha has been so difficult to deal with, but E-Arena the only team to be able to take him down, and it took at least 3 of them. Turney K goes down with him, but 10 eliminations now for E-Arena. Very possible to get this res. This is the chance though for Enigma Galaxy to move across, and look at Ralph. He's getting over. Koops is looking to join him. This is the perfect opportunity whilst these teams on the east are preoccupied. A little bit slow to get the third party, but it is a good first step. I like what they've been able to do there. We've seen counterpointed river cross positions in 2-2 splits work well in the past. I'm hoping they can leverage that here. I'm a little bit disappointed in Orangutan on the north side. I feel like they could have poked their noses into that fight and third party did as well. Moved a little bit further out to the east, been fairly safe from Tianba and gotten stuck in there, but they hold inside. And I don't think it was going to be enough.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed here in the EWC is the quickness these teams are ready to third party and take those opportunities. And it's just kind of surprising to see OG just kind of hold back there for a second. Enigma Galaxy, just due to the terrain, weren't able to even think about getting that third party. But because of that fight, it opened the door for them to be able to at least make that safe rotation and get that 2-2 split going that you were talking about. So let's see how they're able to capitalize onto it, though. as now is the calm before the storm. We are in stage number 5. All these teams just planning it out, trying to figure out, okay, if the zone goes over here, we're going to have to make these plays. If the zone stays on us, then GG, baby. We just shoot at everything in sight.
Yeah, we're going to get the next zone unveiling itself in the next 20 seconds or so. It's Godlike try and keep their ridgeline in play. This is a replay of the roll-up. Okay, this is when E-Arena crashed on towards 4th Rise. Falak. Yeah, went down very quickly there to Joker. Not much you can do about that. When the flying vehicle launches over the top, the bunny rabbits bound on into your sightlines. He wasn't ready for it, which is kind of unfortunate. Next circle, though, comes in Jukes, and it will head over to the west. So I think the Galaxy do have to get on the road. Ulf fairly happy in their compound, but Godlike are putting pressure on.
Yeah, Godlike. Remember, as Power said, the domination starts now. Let's see if they can actually make that thing, though, as they got Ulf right behind them. They're super pinched, making it very difficult for them to make a play from their position. And now you can see Scarface getting up close and personal. As Power trying to smoke some things out, buy his teams some time. It's going to be up to him and Admino, though, as they are just trying to hold this spot. Unfortunately for them, though, it's outside of circle. Yeah, so now Ulf are in a perfect position to gate cardy this. Oh, nice shots though from Admino, but unfortunately those smokes are perfectly put, and he's not able to get the thirst.
The nade is up high, doesn't quite go the distance. It went completely out of his viewing angle there. If it had been just a little bit further, that could have been a straight knock there. S-Power gets across. Just to get some healing started as well, but that blue zone pressure is coming through. We're looking at OG and E-Arena, as well as Nigma Galaxy, also having to make moves in the meantime, Dukes, and move in from this east edge. Tiamba gonna have to move. There is a lot of teams that have to make some difficult decisions now, and OG are making it right now. They're gonna roll straight on forwards, try and get dead center here, and contest with Nigma Galaxy on the coastline, into Vitality sightlines as well. They drop down, and 3 of them managed to get across, not unscathed, but alive.
Great IQ of a rotation. They knew that one little plateau was right there. They were able to head straight towards it. They get their safe. Coops in trouble. The closest nade, he's done. Oh, able to get the heal off, and now get some shots downrange. Headshot onto Mormon. Joker right there next to him, though. Can Coops get to safety? No, he gets knocked, and E-Arena are going to continue to apply that pressure, getting that thirst immediately there onto Coops. At Nigma Galaxy just getting picked apart. That 2-2 split not working out.
That was insane for Coops to be able to do so much damage on that angle. He really held Ralph in the game there, and are leaving Nigma Galaxy on 3. Orangutan lost players on the center as well. They are now down to just 2 as E-Arena make the same mad dash. The mad crash against Tianbao will not work out for them, and E-Arena evaporated.
E-Arena evaporated, and they end up feeding the beast that is Tianba. They did put some good points on the board for them, and I love to see that aggression. Let's see if Tianba, though, can put even some more points and get this chicken dinner. They already have 10 eliminations. They're looking pretty unstoppable. S-Power forced to hit the deck. Ulf now with those sight lines just punishing them. I mean, they have this position locked down.
You needed Admino to be on an angle there to suppress Ulf, but no, not quite there, not quite ready, didn't have the presence, and it's a difficult spot on the north side, so I can't really blame them too much there. Now the transition to the rest of the circle. A knock over towards Tiamba, and the final flush onto Godlike as well. Another nade over towards Tiamba. They're getting caught in the crunches. Nigma Galaxy move up the hill. They're challenging Orangutan. They're challenging Tiamba. They're doing a lot on this eastern side, and Nigma Galaxy strike at the opportune moment.
Perfect timing there for Nigma Galaxy. They understand the situation. Hey, we got to push up. We can't just sit back and relax, wait for them to come to us. And you can see Lord with those nades applying the pressure. I think they need to slow things down a little bit, though. The circle is coming. The circle will push these teams out, so you want to make sure you hold on to all of that utility up until that last and final second. And I think they realize that. That's why they're starting to hold on to those nades. But the shots ringing out. Eagle getting a nice knock on Aaron. That's their biggest threat right now.
Catch, though, with the response over to QZZ, and it leaves Eagle alone. Dropping that smoke, the zone starts closing in 15 seconds, so this res needs to be now. It needs to come through as fast as possible to be able to be in a position to move out. Orangutan lose their final player. Gone. And it is going to go down to Nigma Galaxy, who are now up on 7 elims. Their transition from across the river has gone so well for them.
What a game from Nigma Galaxy, getting hot dropped over and over and over. They take out Ida in just a beautiful fashion. And now with this fortunate zone shift are putting the punishment on this lobby as they take down Eagle from Tianba.
Now QZZ will go down too, and Tianba knocked out. They managed to get a whole host of points though, 14 on the match. And they will keep themselves in the running for the podium. Nigma Galaxy looking to join them. There's not enough room for both of you. You've got to organize it. Back to front, stand the line. But Vitality gonna have to leave as well from their cover on that south edge.
Does Solus not see Satan right there in that corner? He had to see him now. No, he's too focused downhill. Oh, never mind. It's gonna be Axel that catches him out. So it's all up to Vitality. Axel, the last player up. Is he able to survive?
Oh, Ralph gets knocked as well. Ulf are captaining from this compound for quite a while now. They haven't had to leave it. And when they do, it's against two duo teams with one of their players on either side knocked. For Ulf, this should be a clean sweep. There are no two ways about it, but it might get a little bit hairy. Lord is shut out first, and Aaron doesn't even hit the deck. A 2v4 here would be needed for Vitality, and they are getting cut across, sliced and diced. Ulf are on the hunt. Downhill, they roll on in, and it's just Razy to stand in their way. The smoke billows, the P90 at hand. You couldn't ask for a better setup, but Ulf are here, and they have the nades, the ordnance to blast them apart at the seams.
And that is how you do it, folks. Ulf just taking full opportunity there and capitalizing it on it. We love to be able to see that. That building so strong. It was in circle all the way up there towards the end, but they didn't just sit on their hands, right? They just saw, they hunted down every elimination they possibly could, and then once they realized that those teams were weak, they pushed out immediately and were able to get it done.
Some real heads-up plays, some proactive plays during that match. I mean, we focused a lot at the start on the hot drop, but the rotations up towards the north side also came in to be really impactful later on into that match, right? It was the teams that got there early that had the staying power. For me, a highlight of that game was also Tianba holding off against the triple crash. It was Alula, followed by S2G, followed by Aurora. Everybody wanted to get into that central compound, but they denied them access at every single turn. It was a shame that Tianba couldn't go the full distance. They did get shut out. And I feel like for Orangutan, they could have had more of an impact on that northeast side that would have changed the tune there. And hopefully they can find those opportunities in the future. It would be great to see them perform at the level we know them to be capable of from their performance in the group stage, but it is looking pretty powerful on multiple fronts.
It's so tough. I mean, everybody here is playing just hyper aggression, zero hesitation gameplay here live in Paris. The second you see an opportunity, these teams are taking it. One team in particular, right? We got to talk about it. Is E-Arena. Just straight aggression there towards the end game. They soak up a ton of eliminations. Unfortunately, don't get the chicken dinner, but when you get that many elims, that's a good game no matter what.
Yeah, that fight with 4 Thrives over the ridgeline worked out well for them. And again, the lack of third party allowed them to keep in the match for a lot longer. They were down to just a single player standing at one point, but they managed to get back to 3 to recover that pressure without any third party look-ins coming on through. And yeah, for E-Arena, it's a good result. I would even say it's a great result to keep them at the top of the tables, to keep, well, I don't know if they're actually at the top of the tables anymore. We'll have to double check that, but a man who could find out is Kalaris down on the stage with E-Arena.
I'll try my best, John Allen. Yes, that's right. E-Arena looking fantastic so far, so let's ask them a few questions about the games here to get things rolling. So first things first, your previous win going up against Furia. Were you surprised by Furia's approach to the late game? And talk to me about that late game in general after you got the win.
ในเกมที่เราต้องเจอกับฟิวเรียนะฮะในเกมที่เราชนะเมื่อสักครู่เนี่ยฮะตอนที่เราเจอกับฟิวเรียฮะเรารู้สึกเซอร์ไพรส์ไหมกับวิธีที่ฟิวเรียเล่นเพลย์สไตล์ของฟิวเรียในเกมนั้นครับ
แปลกใจครับแต่ก็รู้ว่าเขาเล่นอย่างนั้นอยู่ครับก็เลยไม่ได้ตื่นเต้นเลยครับ
Well, we expected, but we still surprised with how they're approaching the teams. But even though the last result is that they're winning the games.
Okay, so you guys got very close to qualifying via the group stage, and then came really close to not qualifying via the survival stage. So has there been any difference in approach here to the final? What has the team talked about to adjust here coming into the finals of PMWC?
ก็สนามที่2นะฮะในกรุ๊ปสเตจเราก็เกือบที่จะได้ควอลิฟายแล้วส่วนในรอบ Survival Stage เราก็เกือบที่จะตกรอบแล้วด้วยซ้ำในตอนนั้นอยากถามว่าในตอนนี้รู้สึกยังไงบ้างครับ
ก็พอเราเข้าไฟนอลมาได้ใช่ไหมครับก็ทุกอย่างก็เริ่มใหม่ครับทุกคนเริ่มจากศูนย์เราก็เริ่มจากศูนย์ก็เลยไม่กดดันอะไรครับ
Well, right now we have zero pressure at all. Like, so we are here to win, of course. And it's like since everyone, this is a new day, new group. So this is a champion group now. Everyone's starting at the 0 point, so that's no different. And we're gonna claim all the glory back to Thailand.
Okay, so that does it then. Well, thank you very much for the answers. That does it down here on the stage. We'll be with you for more from PMWC in just a moment.
EWC का 6 से भी फाइनल पर भी खेल रही है एक प्लेयर नहीं इसमें मैच ये मैच गुड लक
Only 5 envelopes. इसका भी देखेंगे फाइनल चल रहा है EWC का बैन केस का बैन जी हाँ केस का चल रहा है एक मैच शेड्यूल अदरवाइज कभी मैच फिर का चलने वाला
Numbers. By the way, for everybody currently watching home, don't forget about the PMWC Lucky Spin that is currently in the game. Log into PUBG Mobile and get those PMWC skins. They are co-created with PvP creator, none other than Nana. You guys want to check them out, make sure you do so. The Alien Fusion Grossa looks absolutely stunning. On top of that, the Electron Energy set and the Proton Power set. Maxman has all of them, if I'm not mistaken, and I personally just want the Grossa.
Yeah, I do have the Groza. Unfortunately, I don't use it much because I cannot control that recoil. So I just stick to the AUG because I'm basic like that, Seven. But the AUG is cool.
I'm with you, honestly. I won't be able to control the recoil, but I just want to see it. I want to see it glow, even if I'm able to get at least one elimination. One team that was able to glow in this last match, being able to keep all their 4 players alive, none other than Ulf, Natura.
Oh, finally. You said it, right? We're finally getting a play where we actually have all of Ulf still around, still here to fight for the end game, to fight for that chicken dinner coming on through. Yeah, really, really nice to see. I mean, yes, they didn't have to contest it too much. They had 1 or 2 fights in the mid stage of the game, OG more notably, but then they were able to just hold their position, wait for the right time, and then once that time struck, Max, they were all over that final circle.
Yeah, I mean, really able to get himself some good presence at the end, keeping 4 players alive, which is my biggest issue with them since PMGO Season 1 in Jakarta this year. And you know what? They're able to finally get it done. I told you, they're a slow starting team. We're getting to the finals. We're finally starting to see these more dominant finishes from Ulf. But second place, Nemo Galaxy. I got a segment later on, but you know what? It's good to see that once they do get out of the hot drop 7, they can actually put up big points.
They can put up those big points. Talking about big points here for some teams, it was none other than Godlike and OG. This was a match that they really needed laced because the middle of the pack teams were eliminated very early on. They needed to be able to catch up, but both teams were only able to catch 5 points apiece.
I mean, look, it's still a great improvement from them. And being so, they had like that kind of control in the middle of zone. So they were there for that early rotate. I would have liked to sort of see, I guess, OG apply a little bit more pressure to their eastern side. But still, to get to that point after the first couple of matches is a better thing for them. Obviously, we talk about slow starting teams, and they are one of them. But I do believe that coming into like the next match, we're probably going to see them a little bit more active. I mean, they need to be a little bit more active in that, but to get to that, I guess, spot that they have, it's a lot better than the previous match.
It is. And one team that was able to, that's also been starting off slow, but finally being able to wake up, Max, none other than 4Thrives. 4Thrives getting 8 eliminations this last match.
Good to see. Finally, good to see it, especially a lot of those eliminations actually secured on 2 teams that were interesting. You had Team Flash a little bit early on in that game too. That was fun to see how they won that little bit of an encounter. Huzaifa in particular, he carried that fight from start to finish. Really good numbers from Huzaifa. But they had a very good early rotation, and you could say a bad rotation from Nongshim Red Force, where they catched them off guard. They didn't expect to clash next to Potato Hill. And you know 4Thrives, right, Nipchur? If they can take a fight and you are in a weakened state, they're going to chase you down until the edge of the earth, and that's what they did, and Nongshim Red Force took a massive L there. So 4Thrives, if you know where they're going to rotate, I would try and avoid them because they don't like having neighbors around them.
No, they don't. And even in this state of where we're seeing them of just kind of indecision, I think they don't really know what's going on. But it is nice to see that, yeah, they're still a threat even in this state. And it's just been really difficult for me to watch 4Thrives because I'm used to a very confident team that knows exactly what they're doing at all times. And I can tell that they're not sure what's wrong, why this isn't really happening. There's a little bit of the old spark there in this last game, but I think really it's just indecision. They're hesitating just too much.
Didn't you say like something about T24 going out a lot early recently? Like that's been a big issue, right?
Early. Yeah, and he's one of the big fraggers. He's really up and coming as a big fragger for the team. So for him to go out early, yes, Huzaifa is able to clutch, but you know, T24, they need a 4th player. They need somebody like him on that squad to just stay alive a little bit longer.
Yeah, T24 was able to start slow during groups as well. Then he was able to pick it up. But right here in the finals, you don't want to be starting slow. So that's one team we'll definitely be looking to see bounce back. One team that has been really consistent, especially with eliminations, we talked about it earlier, Lace, is none other than Tiamba. Tiamba just keeps putting up those eliminations in a big, big way.
They absolutely have, and I also want to add into that, like, keeping up those sort of eliminations. It's also E-Arena. Like, we sort of, like, look at these 2 powerhouse squads, and we're going to have to get a mashup with these 2 teams because they are making it in those top 5 positions. They are clearing their space. They're grabbing the eliminations along the way, even in a fight where I think it was Enigma Galaxy could have pushed E-Arena a lot earlier in their position, but For whatever reason, I'm sure Max will cover it, they didn't sort of get into that contention, but E-Arena just kept making power plays for the spot that they want. Tiamba is also making those power plays to get the position that they want. And obviously early eliminations, especially in today, is what will capitalize you for going into tomorrow. So this steady, I guess, excel in eliminations has been awesome from both of these squads.
Yeah, especially for E-Arena, right? Remember what we saw of E-Arena in day one of their Group B? They were able to get those 29 eliminations in Rondo, and then after that, they kind of just ended up dying off us. We're actually going to be looking at a comparison between Group Day 1 and also what they're doing here in the finals. And something that I want you to keep in mind is the placement that this team is currently being able to put up, being able to survive even longer, and the eliminations are even higher because they have been consistent with those eliminations.
They have been very, very consistent. It's been back-to-back-to-back games of just really good placement, good strategy, good synergy with the team as well. They look fairly confident. The lobby is hard. I'm going to say that. It is a very, very difficult lobby, night and day from the group stage, from the survival stage, but they are handling it very well. I do want to say very quickly, what I loved about the fight with For Thrives, right? That dip, the way they use the terrain, because there's a bit of a cliff area there, it's a dip, and then you got those two cliffs, and what actually they ended up using is they went off the cliff, back behind For Thrives, and then used that terrain where they couldn't actually see to move around in front of them as well. So it gave the illusion that they were everywhere at once, when really they weren't. And for a team that is slightly struggling like For Thrives, that was just the death knell. So very well played by EA, good knowledge of the terrain, and great synergy overall.
It was a magic trick almost.
It was. It really was.
Max, there is something that has been pretty much pissing us off when we talk about Erangel, and that is the hot drops that we're seeing between Nigma Galaxy and none other than Ida. It's good for Nigma Galaxy right now, but Ida is just, they're just wondering their hopes.
Yeah, I mean, Nigma Galaxy, you saw what we could do when they can actually get out of the hot drop, but here you go, Pachinki, Nigma Galaxy dropping there since the 1990s at this point, and Ida going to be joining up on this one. And initially I was like, okay, Ida, you should not be going for this hot drop. You know as a clear-up fact that Nigma Galaxy will never go up this location. And it's almost getting to the point for me, Niptura, where I'm thinking, Nigma Galaxy, maybe this would be a good opportunity for you to start leaving, because Ida are not just ruining your Erangels, they're ruining your entire tournament run so far.
Yeah, it's really weird, right? Because for Nigma Galaxy, it's like Ida is the newcomers. They need to get out. Clearly, it's not working for them. They have 2 points over the entire day. 1, 2, that's it. But you're right, Nigma Galaxy is ending up ruining their tournament chances as well, because we are seeing really good performances from Nigma. I love how they've been playing, but they're just entering the zone way too late because of Ida.
Yeah, of course, we did say this game was good, right? Because they got out of the hot drop as a four-man team. They lose a single player. I promise you, they do not get a finish like that. They do not get that many points. So right now, Nigma Galaxy, I would say there are other options available, and I understand it's your drop, you've been there for the longest time, but I do not care at this point which team leaves. One team has to leave. This is a waste of time, and it's making me angry, and I'm just looking at that on the early game.
Can I also just interject here and go, Ida, what are you doing? Because this is a team, remember, that got in through the group stage. They were second in their group. They had a fantastic second day. They won like 3 of the games. They were hyper aggressive. We know this is a team that can play very well, but they're wasting everything on a hot drop 3 times in a row. Yeah. Again, they have 2 points. You're not gonna win on 2 points.
And teams are starting to notice this is such a waste of time. Like For Thrives, I think it was on one of the Erangels earlier, Niptura, they like just instantly third party it. And now teams are going around Pachinki waiting for the loot truck to come out, because they know no one is going to get that loot truck, because they're so focused on that clash between Nigma Galaxy and Ida. Of course here, big respect, by the way, Nigma Galaxy, the smokes and the way they started pushing these solo players, that was very well executed, but one mistake, one slight error, and you lose a player, and instantly your chances of a win dwindle to almost nothing.
Well, we know exactly what happened when For Thrives joined the party, right? Nigma Galaxy lost a couple of players, and then we didn't really see them in that game. They went out fairly early on. They had to full send. Game 1, they had to full send to the beach and just kind of stay there. There was no opportunity for them to get any points whatsoever. So, yeah, for Nigma, this is bad on both sides. I'm mad at Ida for initiating this every single game, but Nigma need to figure out how to adapt to this.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out how to adapt to this. If I had to pick one team to stop hot dropping in Pochinki, it wouldn't be Nigma, because Nigma has been getting the better end of this, especially they showcased what they were able to do in the last match. They're getting the eliminations too, so Nigma Galaxy, keep on doing your thing. If you're Ida, get the heck out of town. You need to find a different spot. But when we were talking about someone, you gotta pretty much see here just the finish of this engagement between these squads. You know what, Max, Lace, who would you want to see just give up this hot drop between Nigma and Ida?
It's got to be Ida, right? Like
it has to be.
Like they're not even getting any further into the late game. They should have just made the decision to sort of rotate from this position. I mean, you know, I was kind of touching on, I think, Nigma Galaxy a little bit later into the zone, how they're making slow decisions. But again, this is slowing their decision. But
yeah,
Ida just, yeah.
Look, by the way, look on the left side of your screen. While they're still in their looting stage, technically, right? So hot drop's a bit weird, it's a bit different. You have Nongshim Red Force fighting 4 Thrives on their first rotation after the looting stage. This is, look, even here, you have the fight, Orangutan fighting Ulf. Everything is happening. In the game, teams are not going to wait for you. And while that's happening, you're still in your initial drop location and you have no scouting done. The loot truck, you can see on the left side of your screen, he came back for round 2. Round 2, and the fight is still not done. What are we doing?
It's okay, Max. This is Picado red buildings all over again. It's really annoying. It's Picado red buildings all over again, Max. I mean, we get so mad at that hot drop, and we still have the Miramars to go. So if either of you hot drop red building Picado, I am going to come over to your table, and I'm going to
moonwalk.
Be aggressive. Yes, I'm going to moonwalk.
Look, okay.
I'm going to hee-hee at you.
TLDR.
Very aggressively.
TLDR for the entire segment. We don't like it. End of story.
Yeah.
Unless you're Nigma Galaxy. Nigma Galaxy currently in 3rd place. You have E-Arena right now in 1st place with 48 points. Tiamba continuing on those consistency of eliminations. This is the main story for Tiamba right now. 45 points, 37 coming from the Elims. And if we start going down, we are seeing one team that has been going down as the day has been going on. And it's none other than Aurora, Max.
Yeah, unfortunately, I still have not seen the comeback of Doc, right? I would even take the dockening at this point. I would be like, I want to see something come out of it. But yeah, they've definitely been slowing down quite significantly. Keep in mind, they've got 11 placement points, sure, but they got 2nd place on the first rondo. That's 6 placement points. After that, the rest of the day is only 5 placement points after 3 Erangles back to back to back. Quite disappointing, especially when it's just outside of Ferry Pier. I was expecting way more. They're slipping down, and especially when Ulf now, they've just got a 4-man finish. You know, Ulf are going to be chasing for that podium spot.
I mean, for me, I'm not too worried about Aurora right now. They've had a good start to the day or start to the finals, and we do know that this is a team that really waits until the last minute to actually do something. They just do just enough to stay ahead. But the problem is when you're seeing teams like Ulf, like Vitality, we haven't even seen Vitality at their best yet. You know, teams like this that are going to be coming up and gaining that momentum as the days go on, Aurora are going to get left behind pretty quickly.
So you are worried or you're not worried?
I'm on the fence as of right now. At the end of the day, I'll be a bit worried.
Okay, because you say I'm not worried, and then you started sounding very worried to me.
I'm not too worried.
It started to sink in. She's like, oh, actually, this isn't looking too good.
She just kept saying more teams, and I'm like, okay. That sounds like you're contradicting yourself here. 4 Thrives ends up finding themselves here in the first page, but going here towards the second page, we really haven't seen much lays out of S2G. With Furia, it's been a hit of a miss, and then we got some of the other squads there.
S2G are getting busy, right? But they are sort of like losing the contests on these fights. They're able to get the placement points. It's been great. Chicken dinners are coming through, but it's kind of like more of a gifted scenario in a lot of segments. But you've heard me about Fury, guys. I'm not going to go on about that. But what
no driver's license.
I won't carry on about that. But look, I even just want to touch on Vitality. We didn't really get to talk about them. They are playing incredibly scared. So Neptura, after your sort of worried statement, I am also worried in that sense, because even in that final zone there, they had the western side to sort of scoop up behind Nigma Galaxy, and they did nothing.
Yep. One team that I want to see more out of, especially towards that second page, is none other than Godlike. And I would love to see the player stats so far today, because this is a team that a lot of people were expecting to actually finish pretty high. And it has to come with the fragging power of S-Power. And right now, for S-Power, to give him a break, he is the only one that's performing for the squad, being able to average at least 1. But the rest of the squad is just not looking good.
It's looking pretty bad in terms of eliminations, and the reason why the eliminations are so low is look at their survival time. They're not even breaching the 20, and some of the players not even the 18-minute mark, which is not good in a lobby of this caliber if you want to be contending for that, let's say, top 5 situation right now. So Godlike, even looking back on this game, they should have pushed up onto, I think it was Ulf's compound, but they got very idle, because the thing is, compared to the group stage where some teams might do mistakes and you might be able to weasel your way in, here you have to take fights head on if you want to have a chance to get very late into those games, get those placement points. Godlike, in a lobby like this, you cannot be hesitant. We've seen in your group stage, you have that raw fragging power from S-Power, from Admino, even Sommei. And Manya is a great IGL, but you need to utilize it and take your chances.
Yeah, what I've noticed is Manya is making like these sort of scouting power plays, but the rest of the team is not supporting him, which they're getting caught out. So, I mean, it's surprising to sort of see that level that they're at right now, because Manya is making incredible decisions, but it looks like a few other sort of on the team are just kind of tunnel visioning into the wrong direction, and then that's when they're getting caught in.
Yeah, I think also one thing that we really need to think about, or they need to think about, is it seems like they keep going for positions that put them in a position to have to fight teams head on, and they're not succeeding in winning those fights. So if you want to make sure that you're actually going to get a position and be in there in the late game, you know, if you know that you're not really fragging out against these squads in the finals, then stop putting yourself in these tight positions in between teams that mean you have to frag your way out of them. Play a little bit more like Vitality, the way that they're on the edge. Enigma Galaxy as well, they're on the edge. They try to just wait out other teams, take a fight here or there, but just survive and keep their players for later.
Survive. That's the name of the game, all right? Just survive. It's so easy. Why don't you do it, Godlike? Actually, I believe they'll be able to turn it around. It is their first time here in the finals international event for a lot of its players. S-Power, I'm still proud of you, brother. You're still putting up the numbers, and I think you're going to do even more as the day goes on, as the days do end up going on. But for right now, let's send it over to none other than the stylish man, Blank, and our special reporter, Kalaris.
Yes, the stylish man and the short man. I get it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We've got ourselves Mr. Blank here to talk about everything.
Oh, you're
that's
my
been going
special
on.
little reporter, aren't you?
Right, yeah. I'll try my very best to rise to the occasion.
My special little man here on the stage here.
Shut up and go away. All right, we've got Tiamba to talk about as well, of course, as they have looked stellar in terms of their positioning and how they've been kind of playing these games out, Blank.
Yeah, they have been really, really good. I'm so sorry. I do love you, bro. But honestly, there has been moments where the decision-making has been fantastic. I think that the way that they are speedily going to sometimes their demise is actually astonishingly good, right? Because I think me and Jackie were talking about this. I don't know if you'd agree, but there are times where they'll make what feels like the best decision in a bad moment, right? Where a lot of teams would just stand by and probably get naded and be like, oh, it's over.
Well, Circles haven't been kind to them, so they've been able to kind of fight against some of that adversity. And I think that when you watched as QZZ was able to get MVPs on international stages this year alone, I think a lot of people, including Max and some pundits, etc., wanted extra people to be able to step up to the plate alongside him.
Sure.
Milu's been able to do that like twofold, which has been really phenomenal to watch so far.
Oh, Milu has been amazing.
Yeah.
Milu's been really, really good. It's fantastic to see. I mean, you were talking about it was FMVP for PMI, where he was able to get 39 eliminations over 7,000 damage for QZZ. But yeah, they have balanced the load in a big way. I think it's a really, really nice thing as well seeing A-King, because it very much reminds me the way that Alpha 7 used to play. They're not playing now.
Ignore that bit.
Ignore that bit. Let's just put that to the side for the time being. But yeah, A-King's kind of like the Revo of the team. He plays forward, he plays shotgun for the team. Milu's just very good in those clutch moments. And yeah, the load is spread out very, very evenly across the squad. Eagle is also a great survivalist. I think they have all the tools necessary to actually honestly win this at this point.
As you're talking, you're getting further away. Come back. It's fine. No. Please. Okay,
where's my box?
The thing is that I think when you look at Tiamba's performance so far, and we can wrap it up on this and move on to our next team, is that double chicken dinner that they got at the start of survival stage, huge revitalization for them to be able to get themselves back on the road again and actually push to be able to find themselves in this state that they're in right now. What do you think?
Yeah, very, very good. I do think that that's what they needed, because the confidence came through. Every time I look down at Milu on the stage, right, it's very...
I like Milu.
I do like Milu. It's very heartwarming because I like it when players are enjoying themselves, and Milu definitely enjoys himself. He's one of the smiliest guys I've seen. QZZ is a little bit more serious, I would say, other than the winning moments where, he almost breaks his fingers on the high fives. That was funny. But I do think that for Milu, it's just nice to see a guy who's so good at the game, but also very much is passionate and enjoys his time in it. And he should be, because he's having an unreal run.
All right, let's move on to another team then, as we have Ulf, who has looked, I would say, towards some of these latest moments, pretty good as well. Obviously, they qualified off the back of having that last game survival win, which was extremely important for their campaign as a whole. And they are one of the teams that a lot of people thought was going to be able to attain those top spots. Right now, their space control is looking good, especially in this last game.
Yes, very much so. I mean, I'm one of those believers. I'm an Ulf believer.
Okay,
Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that Eren is one of my favorite players. Ketch also from way back when, MVP in PMPL Season 1 Spring.
He's not quite as old as me, but he is pretty old. He goes way back.
He's old, yeah, but he's still got it in him. He's got the grizzled beard, he's a grizzled warrior, but he looks good. And I think that for Ulf, though, that last game was fantastic for me in particular, because we were talking about it backstage, right? And I said, if Ulf wins this game, I want to talk about them. But it was nice for me to be in like stage 6 and really believe in Ulf to actually win the game that they should be winning if they make the necessary movements, which was to take out Tiamba and slowly corral the rest of the squad. So the fact that they did one, kind of a prideful moment for me, because I was like, get in, lads. This is fine. You've got it.
And you liked your prediction.
I did, yeah. Also, I was quite chuffed about myself. Yes, that is right. Okay, 50-50.
Yeah, okay.
Great job, lads. Great job, me.
I think as well, controlling that compound, it actually has great lines of sight on the south side. Any vulnerability normally comes from the north, which actually didn't really exist in that game due to the way the circles were shifting. So they had to turn all their attention to the east as the next main threat. And I think you're right. They prioritize those threats very well from a compound like that. So good stuff by Ulf so far. And let's turn our attention as well to E-Arena, who has looked... It's funny because I'm a little bit conflicted by what E-Arena's been putting up so far. Because even in this last game, I really appreciate the wide wraps that they're doing, but 4th Thrives had like almost zero opportunity to be able to react to the snowball coming down the hill and, crushing them all. It was tough.
It was tough. I mean, E-Arena is just a strange team right now where I'm not sure if they're really good at the game or very lucky, which even they, I don't think, are very sure about this point in time. I remember a time when Schweppes, was sweeping aside the competition. But again, I think E-Arena just hasn't quite hit that full stride yet. But they do have the massive potential, Caleb.
He's been able to win twice on the stage in the past with Schweppes, with, of course, Vampire in the past. But anyway, thank you very much, Blank, for joining me here down on the stage. It is time to head on over to Glitter with an update.
Because there's a lot going on in chess today, and a lot of it is very CC heavy. So talk us through what's been going on.
So currently the game going on behind us at the moment is Magnus Carlsen, the tournament favourite, playing for Team Liquid against Nahal Sarin for SAUL.
Okay.
So pretty big game, mainly for Team Liquid. SAUL have popped up across a few games, but not really near the top of the leaderboard. So Team Liquid, I'm not going to pretend like they're near the top at the moment either, to be honest with you.
Fair.
They're probably lower down than SAUL at the moment, but they're expected to get a win here this weekend, considering Magnus Carlsen being the chess player that he is. And he is up 2-0 at the moment as well. So even if he gets one more draw through the next 2 games, he'll be progressing to the semi-finals. Earlier today, we had the first quarterfinal, which was Denis Lazovic playing against the Na'Vi representative, and he managed to get a win. So that's huge for AGL as well, considering they're trying to keep the top of this leaderboard. They pretty much need to outperform Falcons, which in itself, it sounds kind of doable, but then you realize they've got 2 players. One of them's already progressed through, and Ali Reza Farouja's kind of playing now and beating his opponent as well.
Okay.
So Hikaru Nakamura already through to the semi-finals, which lines up a Hikaru Nakamura versus Denis Lazovic, AGL versus Falcons in the semi-final.
I mean, to be fair, Denis was trying to almost preempt the win. He was practicing putting the key into the trophy yesterday. So, maybe that's a good omen?
I mean, the thing is, he was literally putting his opponent's key that he'd beaten in the winning trophy. So it wasn't even his own key. He was like knocking someone out and then putting them on a pedestal straight away. But yeah, it's been a good one over here in chess. There's so many club championship storylines that kind of lay on chess at the moment, considering, AGL have been knocked out of PUBG Mobile, have been knocked out of several other competitions as well. So Team Falcons have to be outperformed by AGL if AGL want to keep that top spot. But then again, Falcons are in Rocket League as well. So they're kind of in a great position to go far in the club championship this week.
And of course, already have managed to secure some points being in the top 4. So it's going to be a very close race is what we're hearing right now. And chess is going to be a big impact on just how close that race for the leaderboard is. We actually have way more matches coming up on the rest of the day. So as we have some more updates, we'll check back in with you, Trev. For now, we're going to say goodbye.
Shout out to the amazing Glitter Explosion and the amazing Trav as well for the Club Championship update. But now going back to PUBG Mobile's esports here at PMWC at EWC 26, we got to talk about Aurora. I would love to see Aurora player stats because there is one player in particular that you're not happy with his performance. You're over here like George St. Pierre, Max. You're like, I'm not happy with your performance. Ooh. That's exactly what it sounds like because for this squad, I mean, they were able to start off hot, but they're just going to keep going down that leaderboard.
Yeah, it's not even just Doc, actually. I feel like I kind of want to see more from Reefus as well. That has kind of like been underperforming a little bit. Even Ziol. Ziol, I can give him a pass because he had some incredible grenades early on Rondo. So sure, maybe it doesn't showcase itself in the stats, but in general, I feel like Ziol has definitely also been pulling his weight. But top, it's been the top show. Getting almost 3 average eliminations per game is crazy in a lobby of this caliber. But it's not enough when only one player's putting up those numbers. Niptura, Doc, Reefus, again, Zioli get a pass, but Doc and Reefus, I want to see those guys doing well here in these coming Miramars.
Oh, absolutely. We know they can offer so much more than they are right now. I also want to give Reefus a half pass as well, because similarly to Ziol, we did see Reefus have some really cool information scouting off angles, like way across certain areas of the zone, really trying to get as much information as possible for his team. So in that regard, yeah, I do feel like he's kind of pulling his weight a little bit, but yes, overall, I do agree with you, Max, that all of them need to really be stepping up to the plate here. 4th place is okay. It's not far behind 1st, but we just want to see more because we know that they can do so much more.
Yeah, and for me, no pass for Reefus. Okay, Reefus, I expect a lot better from you. You're the only player right now that hasn't gotten one of the international MVPs in that squad, so the pressure is on you, okay? Any passes that I had for him was last year. This is a new year. I want to see more survival time out of him as well, but here we go. We're looking at the overall lace. We're talking about Tiamba. We're talking about Flash. We're talking about some of these teams that we need to see more placement points out of.
Yeah, I want to ask Max, if he were to be an embodiment of a coach, you pick Team Flash, right?
Oh, if I wanted to coach a team, which team I would coach?
No, so I think Flash was, wasn't that your...
They're my prediction, yeah.
Yeah, your prediction?
Yeah.
Obviously being 7th place there, not doing terribly, but come on.
23 points behind.
Inner coach, what do you think they need to do to be able to skyrocket up that leaderboard so your prediction is correct?
Oh, it's complicated exactly to pinpoint what's going on with
Tell
Team
us,
Flash.
Max.
Oh, you're putting me on the spot right now. I didn't prepare a segment for this. But, Team Flash, I feel like...
You thrive on this.
There was one fight that was versus 4 Thrives that I find interesting. That was actually the one that happened last game that eventually was won by Ulf. And I feel like what happened with Team Flash, they got caught off guard and they didn't find a good way to get themselves back up on their 2 feet and get ready for the fight, which under pressure, that is what you need to be able to do. Flash is a great team, right? If they take a fight they're ready for, when they're not ready for it, they just tend to crumble a little bit. Yeah. So I don't think it's a gameplay issue per se. I feel like it's more of a mindset issue that Flash need to try and resolve.
Yes, we're looking at the second page here. I'm also going to be looking at Hora Esports, Neptura. This squad, I mean, they have the fan base here. They have the support from the fans. But right now, in the second page, knowing Hora Esports, they're not going to be happy with this performance.
No, they're not. And I think it's a bit of an odd one, right? Because I think it's hard to say, like Max, right? It's hard to pinpoint what exactly is going on with them. But typically, this is a team that likes to play edge, likes to survive, likes to wait until the last few phases of the game to really start spreading out and taking third-party opportunities. They're very good at those third parties, and we're just not seeing that from them. They try sort of half-heartedly making good on some of these plays, but they get overthrown very, very quickly by these more aggressive players and more aggressive teams, and so they just seem to be a little bit too passive. I know Hora tends to be called passive a little bit more, but this is not a passive team when it comes to those fights, and except for today, it just kind of feels like that's what they're the name that they're living up to, unfortunately.
I mean, it's an incredible start from them though, from the first couple of matches. So like, obviously we talk about teams that sort of start out strong, start out weak. I think they started out incredibly strong, but it seems like obviously coming into these later matches and everybody's reading the zones a little bit better in these positionings, they are getting caught out on that. So I do agree with you in that sense. But look, it's just kind of that balance of mentality that they're sort of struggling later in these matches, but I feel like even though it's just today, I feel like tomorrow it's going to be like a little bit of a different scene from them in the start. I do believe so. I do believe they have it. They got the fans to back them up, of course. I'm backing them up. Maybe not for the rest of today, but tomorrow.
I was about to say, you're giving them a break until tomorrow. No, Days fans, I want to see it. They want to see it coming up in Miramar.
I mean, the thing is, right, is that, okay, if you only had like your typical rule set, sure, fair enough. You can have one day off. We got Smash ruling. You might just have only 2 games there on that day 3, and you just don't know how it's going to go. If it happens like it happened in the Macau Invitational, boy, oh boy, that was crazy. We had 5 teams in the Smash zone at the same time. Eventually, Nongshim Red Force did get the win, stealing it away from Furia, but Smash ruling in play, you just don't know how long you really have, Niptura, so you got to make the most out of the games you're currently playing, because otherwise that gap, it might be impossible to come back from in that final day.
Oh, exactly, and there's your point brings up 2 teams to mind for me. The first one we've already talked about, Aurora. I said that they typically are a day 3 team, which makes things very complicated when you get to that Smash ruling. Exactly. What day 3, right? The other one is for Thrives, because again, they do very well, typically, very well on day 1, because day 2, they tend to dip. The momentum just drops significantly, and then they can bring it back up on day 3. Again, what day 3? We could very well have a scenario where day 3 is really non-existent. So for those 2 teams in particular, that's really scary thought.
Yeah, day 3 will still happen, but depending on how the leaderboard is looking and depending on what other teams end up doing, we could end up just seeing 2 games because Smash Rule is in effect. So just to remind everybody, the way that ends up working out is when we end up going to Smash Rule on the last day, whoever's in first place on the previous day, you get plus 10 points if I'm not mistaken, and then that becomes what we like to call the Smash Zone. Once a team is able to pass that threshold, in the next game, if they do end up winning, or whichever game after that, if they do end up winning, they would end up winning via Smash Win. This is something that you were especially hitting on just now, Max, because it could come into play. If a team is too far ahead, I mean, especially with Rondo starting off as well, it could be an easy 10 points for that squad, and later on, we can see teams just readjusting their playing style because all they have to do is just win, baby.
But it also adds so much pressure.
Yes.
Right? We do have to highlight it. I mean, I want to take you guys back to PMWC Season 1, Jakarta, right, in Indonesia. 4 Thrives, what was it, 50+ point lead after day 1? Like something crazy like that. They just destroyed everyone in those 6 games. And then comes over day 2. They're like, oh, wait a minute. We try and get into the Smash Zone. They get in the Smash Zone very early. Pressure gets to them. Ulf is like, oh, you're crumbling. You're having a bad time. And they catch back up to that team and almost take it away in that last Miramar. But luckily enough, 4 Thrives do maintain that top position. But the Smash ruling is a blessing and a curse based on how you approach it. And for 4 Thrives, I am scared if they do get into the Smash Room once again, how are they going to perform? Because back in that last event, it was looking shaky. They can't afford to shake up badly here back to back.
Yeah, that team, they ended up pretty much just showing us what we have seen in the past with 4 Thrives, which is the biggest question mark, and that is the mental state of the players, because when things don't end up going their way, they do end up getting into their mind. Yep. For them, being able to be champions, though, for 4 Thrives is going to be looking different. For a team that's wanting to become champions, none other than Enigma Galaxy, they have had a great start here today, but I know Jackie got a chance to talk to them.
Hello everyone, Jackie Powers here, live from PMWC at Esports World Cup, and I'm joined by the legend himself, Ralph, from, of course, Enigma Galaxy. Now, buddy, I got to get in there and ask, the pop-off moment, Ida's been hot-dropping you every game. It feels like every time we're in Erangel, they're willing to sacrifice their own points to target your team. What's going through your mind in these moments, and what was that like, kind of asserting the dominance of, we keep winning this, and I'm going to prove it, standing up on the stage?
I mean, Ida knows we've been landing in Pushinki, me personally, for 7 years now. So they want to challenge us. They want to prove themselves as a new team. But they know we won't change, and they know we're better than them. So just a waste of time for them. They're just giving us 3 points. First match, they were scared to fight, and they ran away. The other 2 matches, we fight them, we push them, and we just kill them easily. So, yeah, that's why I pop off, because it doesn't make sense.
Oh, exactly. I mean, we kind of mirrored that on the cast in the moment, thinking it's doing more damage to them than it is you guys in these moments. Obviously, let's talk a little bit more on a positive term. It's been pretty good for you guys so far in finals. It feels like the comms right now on the team are really clean as well. Do you think this is going to be Enigma winner? You're looking to take the trophy home this year?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we're prepared more than ever to win the trophy. We're trying our best. Everything is going our way for now. It's a good start, but the tournament is still long, so we keep it up, keep the momentum, and try to grab that trophy.
Respectful as always with some brilliant takes. Always lovely to chat to Ralph. There you go. Nigma Galaxy. Let's see if they can do it.
I see the Key Crusher on stage, I think, yeah, that's cool, but it could be cooler.
Yeah, baby, all the way! Oh, hell yeah!
I found a crusher of my own through totally legal means.
Oh भाई ये चौथा मैच ये हो जाएगा हाँ जल्द ही हो जाएगा भाई ये मैच होने जिसमें कि 4 मैच आज हो चुके 8 बज गए आई थिंक वो बाकी बस सेम कल भी है ये मैच होने अभी मैच हैं तो क्या
some point, and I need someone to pick on, and I just was kind of looking in your direction, and yeah.
How would you do that though? What's like?
We don't need to go into details.
No,
Max,
no.
what would you be crushing?
7 also. What would I be crushing? You know
Who
what?
would I be crushing?
Who would I be crushing? No. Ooh, can we do Niptra first? I don't know.
No,
I don't
don't
know.
do me.
I
I know
On
nothing.
the spot. Come on.
Come on.
I would be crushing the key of Ida because they're making me very angry. I would take it like this, and it would not. The tournament would not even end, and I would just take it and crush it and turn it into a paste and squash it under my feet. So I don't know. I really don't like the hot drop, as you can tell. Probably, I don't like it. It's not fun.
How about you?
He's looking at me. I can see him on the monitor. He's looking at me very intensely. Is 7, and I don't have an answer.
Well, you're gonna have to find one.
You know what?
You have to pick something.
Oh no! Don't put it on me. This is
Yes,
bullying.
keep it.
This is bullying.
Come on.
What's it gonna be?
Instagram DMs.
Actually, that's a good answer. That's a good answer, actually. Yeah.
She's just gonna be printing them out and just crushing them. Mine, I would want to see how long it takes to crush the level 3 helmet for PUBG Mobile. That would be sick. I go, you know what? For next PMWC, how about we crush that? We'd love to end up seeing that, or maybe one of the
Squeaky
what?
chicken.
No. The what?
Squeaky chicken. Crush that and see what happens.
Jeez, come down there in Farmville. As we're going to be going into Miramar, one thing that we've been noticing, oh my gosh, talking about Miramar, perfect time too, as we're seeing some of the bloopers that we have had so far. A PMWC, Aurora with this one. That one hurt to see. But this was, honestly, ended up working out for EA, especially because they jumped at the same time.
Yeah, it did. That was the only redeeming quality, but otherwise it was a sticky situation that they had to get themselves out of. So yeah, GG on that one. But yeah,
Did they hit the light post?
A little bit.
You say they got the light knocked out of it.
That one, oh, that was my favorite one so
That's
far, Max.
so good.
You know how hard it is to do that? It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot replicate that. Also, XEY, when he was going over with the glider, he was actively getting shot at, by the way. Can't see all of the shots connecting, but some of them do. And before he explodes, he jumps out. That's some James Bond stuff right there in PUBG Mobile, and he makes it onto the tower. And actually, that position was really big for Nongshim Red Force in that game. I wish they got something similar in the finals, though. So it's not been the case so far.
Oh, this one stinks. Yeah, that one stinks. Just because they're not here anymore. You can even see it with Blank when he brought up Alpha 7. It's like, ooh.
Oh, never
The
mind.
reigning champ is the PMWC, not in the finals of PMWC.
Ah, that's like, ooh, maybe not. Hora, we love self-nading in this household. It's just so much fun, and it's dumb. But here we go. You do have it occasionally. Here we go, Aleko. I mean, and it's, any team can do it. We had A7, we've had Hora, 721 GS now.
Sometimes you're just such a powerful player that you need to be humble and eliminate yourself from the competition. God damn, we have some humble PUBG mobile players.
We do. Oh!
It's like what we do, Max. It's pretty much this is exactly the playing style when we end up playing. We're just so good at the game that we had to give the other teams a chance, give the other players a chance. We're like, okay, time to nade ourselves.
You have to intentionally throw sometimes. If you want to give other people, the noobs, a chance, unlike us, they need to be given an opportunity at redemption in these games and get those chicken dinners, because otherwise they're just not going to get anything done. So yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, and as we're going to be going into Miramar, we're still waiting for the matches to be ready here. That's why there's been a bit of a delay. As we're going to be going into Miramar, there is some drops that we've been kind of keeping an eye on, especially for Godlike and Hora, and you can see Max just starting to get even more and more red. I love how the shade just went from like your regular color to now starting to get a little bit more red with this hot drops. But the thing is, with Godlike, one thing that they have adjusted, Lace, is with Godlike, they haven't hot dropped before. They did hot drop at the start of the tournament, but they realized it wasn't going to be going their way, and they stopped hot dropping.
I mean, they make these decisions based off of, I guess, all their play styles from previous matches. I like the fact that they're trying to make different decisions to see what can benefit them. Obviously, they need to capitalize on more eliminations, so seeing hot drops come out of them is better, but also they do have the power and the great positioning to go into these final circles. So when we bring into Smash Rule, and if obviously they can catch up that leaderboard in eliminations, this is a team that can finalize it and break it out by getting that win at the end of the day. So even though their eliminations are slow now, say we come into tomorrow, they can capitalize on these eliminations, moving on up the leaderboard, they are a team that will be able to hit the Smash Rule because they can capitalize on the wins. What are you guys doing?
I believe so. I think they could put themselves into that position, and we're just showing our support here. We're looking at some of the teams that we ended up predicted, and for everybody currently watching at home, for everybody here in the arena as well, don't forget that you can go into the EWC Play app and put in your predictions. Turn in with just scan that, scan that real quick right here. Just go ahead and scan it and see what teams you're going to be selecting. I ended up selecting Aurora being in the top 3. This is the first time that in a long time that I haven't picked them to win.
That's fair. I think that is fair. I wish they would win, but they're not. The way it's going, at least it doesn't look insanely likely unless they have a massive comeback in the next couple of days. But 4 Thrives, also a team that needs to step up because, look, I've been supporting you guys for ages and ages. And you won PMGO, and I want you to have a back-to-back. I know you can do it. Do it.
Yeah,
ages. So many ages.
Oh wait, this is 4th right. I thought that was Hora. I can't touch that. Okay, I thought that was Hora. I'm not. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I thought.
Bad. No.
I love that Tura just kicks it too. She doesn't even try to pick it up.
Okay, yeah, I can't touch any 4th Rise merchandise. Okay, I need to.
By the way, huge shout out to Jackie because while we're waiting for the game to start here, Jackie has been running around getting some interviews, and I think he was able to get another interview with maybe a fan this time.
We're still roaming around talking to the fans. We're going to see what sort of teams people are enjoying over here and who they think's going to win. Excuse me, buddy. Who do you think's going to win the event?
Ulf, I think he's win.
Yeah?
Yes.
Let's go. Big up for Ulf.
Let's go, Ulf.
Wolf. What about you, brother? Wolf.
All right, hell yeah.
So we got some old fans in the house. Thank you, boys. Let's roam in a bit. Hey guys, 4 Thrives. Hey, okay, there we go. Got some 4 Thrives fans in the house. Who's your favorite player on 4 Thrives?
Of course, all, but I will go with Huzafa and Falak.
Okay.
Yeah. But
there's been a lot of fans for Falak. What do you think it is? Is it how he plays the game or just his personality? What do you like about him?
how is it played? He's an aggressive player, so and personality as well. Yeah, so yeah.
What about all 4 Thrives here in terms of thinking they're going to win it? You a big fan of 4 Thrives?
Yeah, we are especially came from Pakistan to support them. We are here for our team and we love them all. They represent our country and represent us. So we are here to support them.
Have you guys been getting loud throughout the event as well, giving them your energy, I imagine? That I've been hearing a lot of 4 Thrives cheers. That coming from you guys?
Yeah, that's definitely us. We are here to support our team, to cheer them.
Good luck with the event. Fingers crossed for 4 Thrives. They've been looking great. I'm going to roam on, see what else we got. Enjoy the show. What we got going on down here? Hello, brother. How you doing? Yeah? Who do you think's going to win the event?
Okay, particularly I can't say anything for the first day because it's going to be a tough competition. It's the EWC man all over the world. Everyone is competitive in this game. So let's wait till tomorrow so then I can say who can win. I know the game, I know how the game works. So let's just wait patiently. First day is a good day for everyone. Let's hope my team win. Hora.
We want to see Hora win. If they get there, you'd love to see a big Hora victory.
Yeah. I love to see that, but still, I say no disrespect to any team, but I want my team to win. That's the motive of champions.
There you go. We're looking for a Hora win over this side. Let's go find out what's going on in the other sides of the arena.
Avli, I need you to cover the STC arena today.
Ooh, it's gonna be tough.
Why?
Because I have no interest in doing that.
Come on, we need you over there.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go to the beach just really quick, and if the games are still going on by the time I get back, I'll say a couple words.
The beach is 5 hours from here. I wish Avli cared about esports more than anything in the world.
That's a candy bar.
It's worth a shot. Avli, what are you doing?
I'm here for EWC. I love esports.
More than anything in the world? So you can cover STC Arena?
I'm gonna cover it all.
That's great. Well, let's get you over there.
I want a key.
No, you can't have a key. Keys are only for clubs. Yeah, okay. We'll figure out your key.
Great, let's go.
Okay. Avli, I just want to say you're doing a phenomenal job. Everyone's really excited about your work.
I just love esports so much.
Yeah, well, I'm going to ask about getting you a raise because you deserve it.
I don't need a raise. I have my key.
How did you... Can I see that?
Mm-hmm.
Avli, did you take this from somebody?
No, don't do that! We were having such a nice tournament! Why does it matter? We were having such a nice tournament!
Okay, it's your key. It's your key. Probably would have got crushed anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to run into that because that is scary. Talking about scary, we had some hot drops that we were talking about with Godlike versus Hora. This squads, I mean, the only thing that would suck for those squads is that they're currently on that second page, Max. That's why we're saying we don't want to see any hot drops from those two squads.
Nobody wants to be EDA 2.0. Okay, sorry. You know
it's
what?
fair.
If you're an EDA fan, I'm sorry. I'm gonna start. I'm just memeing at this point. No, but they didn't do the hot drop in their respective group, right? Which was Group A back then, if I'm not mistaken, or the other one, but one of the groups. And they didn't go for it. But the reason why they didn't go for the hot drops, really, the real reason is because the planes were very focused over to the eastern side and the southern side, meaning La Cobreria was not in reach. I want to see a plane, right, Niptura, where it goes and reaches La Cobreria, and we see as a fact that Hora and Godlike, and hopefully also Chama, that might drop there, will not commit to the fight because, yeah, right now they're not in a good position. They cannot afford to lose points, and I think they're not going to commit to it, but it could get bad.
And for the Godlike, I mean, you don't want to go up against a team that's currently being able to put up even more elims than you, that usually ends up being more aggressive, like you were talking about in the stance of Hora.
Yeah, no. Again, yeah, if they were doing much better in the last 4 matches, if they had, if they were top 5, top 6, something like that, and they were feeling really good and looking very confident, maybe you could try to contest the drop, right? But the way it stands, honestly, for either of these teams, I don't think either of them should really try and contest this. It really is down to who had it first and up to the other team to kind of figure out where else they want to go, because I'm not confident that either of those teams would win against each other. I think it's a 50-50.
Even if you lose a player, right, it just hurts your potential performances onto Miramar. So yeah, I do think that Godlike, talking to S-Power, you and me, right, Seven, we had a bit of a chat with them. He's like, you know what, it's not worth it. They had that first hot drop onto, I believe it was Hustler Crew, onto Erangel in their group stage, and like, you know what, it's just not worth it. Let's give it up. And I think that was one of the best changes in this entire tournament, was from Godlike, and I want to see that bleed into Miramar going into today.
Maturity, honestly, from the first time being at a global event, especially in finals, and well, during group stages it ended up happening, but maturity out of that player for S-Power, saying we don't want to continue with the hot drops, we want to stop that. We see that it's going to end up hurting our performance. And Lace, I want you to put your mindset into a coach right now, into the biggest hype coach for some of their squads. Godlike and Hora, which team are you going to be picking, and what are you going to be telling them if they do decide to hot drop, or if they don't decide to hot drop?
Just get it together, man. No. Look, Godlike, and because, we were just saying S-Power, their adaptation to each and every game deserves to get a little bit further. And I just hope that you guys can find that great little key that you need to be able to push through into those final zones and capitalize on those eliminations. They have it in them. You've got it in you, and I believe that you will be able to do that. Obviously, we may need a little bit more time to sort of get that, but I just like the way that this team calculates and puts in a strategy. Might not work out for them, but then they'll try a new strategy that they'll be able to solidify a lot more in this competition. So look, I think they can do it.
Yeah, especially for both teams being in the second page. You want to be able to build up the momentum. We've seen some teams being able to build up momentum and just carry it on throughout the matches. Only 3 days here at PMWC, at EWC 26, the finals. We've been sending it to Jackie over and over again. Then I want to see what Hot Jukes and Blank are up to.
Woo! Thank goodness the group stage and the survival stage is done. Now we can finally kick back and save our voices for a little bit.
Playing some pool was a good time. It's been an incredible event so far, honestly, in Paris. Very, very fun. I mean, we're here right now in the Players Lounge, which is honestly ginormous. I think the first place we saw when we came in. I'm trying to hit some trickies right now, but it ain't happening. Also, I just want to let everyone know that I play pool. But I don't really, I play snooker. So this is very different for me.
It's not the same thing, not the same thing at all. Matter of fact, I've never even seen a snooker table in real life. This is the game to play. I thought it was only one singular game.
Yeah, I'm gonna break the rules.
Okay, what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
I think I'm gonna break the rules in terms of
He is looking to take the shot. Will he hit the stripe? Little bounce shot, there we go. Well, you know, we're getting things figured out here. Let's see if I can finally hit one of these things.
Okay. So what have you thought about the tournament so far? I mean, for me, tournament's been great. I've really enjoyed it. It's been insane. There's been some crazy moments. That's a good shot. It's a good shot too. Fourth rows look fantastic. I mean, Orangutan, Godlike coming in over towards that top 5 is just some crazy stuff. Couldn't believe it. I think everyone I've talked to whilst they're being here saying they're having a really good time. Again, everyone's really taken care of here as well. Plenty of stuff that we're taking advantage of as well. Honestly, that's the big thing. Like, we're having actually kind of a pretty damn good time here. All right. Yeah, we got our 3 games in. I do watch the other ones, but afterwards I like to come chill here. It's a lovely spot.
This place is stupid, to be honest. It's ridiculous. Dude, by far some of the best food I've ever had at an event ever. And this place really does have it all, dude, right? I mean, like, every game you can imagine. Manicurist on stage. And, dude, that lady's insane. Like, I've seen some of the girls walking out of there, and now she's, like, booked out for 2 weeks, which is wild. But I might even get a haircut in a second. I love it. I love it here.
You're so hyped about you taking the mic back off me as well. Yeah, no, I'm about to get a manicure, dude. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready for mine. Yeah. But overall, Genuinely, PUBG Mobile is always, I think PUBG Mobile might be the greatest event at EWC. PMWC, EWC, so good. We're biased as hell though about that, but we do get like 2 good weeks out here to enjoy the vibe. You know, it's been in Riyadh quite a few other times, but even there it's been very, very fun coming to Paris. For me, Paris is good because it's a 1-hour flight as opposed to an 18. But I'll still take the 18 to go to Riyadh. Very, very good time. But it does mean I don't have to get a massage while I'm here. My back is not ruined.
Yeah, I'm in the same dang boat. I mean, when I heard that there was massage therapists actually available, I was like, please, where are you at? Because my flight was a whole lot longer than that. But yeah, man, so far this has just been a crazy journey. And the survival stage just finished. It was tough leaving the hotel room this morning and seeing like 10 teams go home. But at the end of the day, someone's going to be the champ. And another team is going to be the not champs. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I'm just watching. I saw him shoot 2 different color balls. He really does play snooker here, folks. And that was close. That was close. I like it.
Look, I'm just hitting balls in holes right now, okay? I'm playing the equivalent of golf, just with a long stick. I hope that's fine what you did. I don't know the rules. Tell me the rules. Right? That's fine. I got you, bro. Yeah, I heard you like stop. I heard you stop. You kind of confused what was going on. That's fine. Yeah. So you're solids, I'm stripes. Is that how that works? Or the numbers? I just know. I just go for colors. That's where I'm from. It's just colors. It's so much easier. Black goes in last. Boom. It's easy. That's all I need. So I'm stripes. Okay.
Okay, he's locked in now. Okay. But what's one thing that you really need to make sure whenever you're playing any game is understanding the rules, right? But even if you don't understand the rules, sometimes you just send it, baby, right? You just put in the work and you might come out on top. Like, that's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? This guy is, I like it though. You know what I'm saying? That's how you make the plays, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah, sometimes you help other teams. That's kind of rough. Okay, I respect it. Sometimes you gotta make some difficult shots in your life. I trust you. It's a long reach. It was close though. It was that. I thought you were gonna really ruin that. I thought you ruined that. Hey, like, tell me something. 4 thrives, overrated or not?
Hell no, dude. 4 thrives is insane. I mean, they are coming in champions of PMGO Season 1. I didn't think we were going to see a Pakistani team be our champs, not this soon. And this guy's giving me a chance. I really, really appreciate it. And hopefully, we'll see 4 thrives try to give some of these guys a chance, because in Group A, these guys look like they were unstoppable.
They look really good. I mean, they were beat out points-wise by Vitality. But Vitality... It was ridiculous. You're right. It was ridiculous. It was a good time though watching them play. Big return to form for Indonesia. It's not been like this in such a long time. Oh, almost. But yeah, big return for Indonesia. It like feels like the spiritual successors right now to BTR back in the day, but there's no BTR pranks happening. No jokes. Just gameplay.
Just gameplay indeed, dude. The whole Vitality Day was absolutely insane. I just kept on talking to some of these dudes backstage, and I was like, guys, what do you think about Vitality's performance? And all I heard was, what the, and it was like filled in by any word you could possibly imagine. That's what I'm talking about. That was good. That was good. I like it. Purposeful shots here. Let's see how this one goes for Blank. Side pocket. Oh, just barely off the edge. But you know what, dude? That's the one thing I love about PUBG Mobile. Sometimes you get put in some beautiful situations, but the best teams always find themselves a way out.
I mean, AJL is a good example of that. They got themselves in a real good situation. I mean, top team Tiamba going for the crown, and honestly, they completely flubbed it. That was a lovely shot, by the way, dude. Well played. Winning up against Tiamba in that last game, survival stage. They're given all the chance in the world versus Nongshim Red Force, but Nongshim, I would say they're one of the teams looking to continue on. And I don't think AGL had it in them this year, but Tiamba just had a massive turnaround. But these things happen. Some mistakes happen. Oh, dude, I forgot that you're like right at the finish line. I've got like some more steps to go.
You got it. But hey, you know what? That's what it's all about. You just take things one step at a time. No matter what kind of situation you put in, you got to just figure things out and make it happen. Yeah. Take another one. Sometimes you got to take a mulligan. Little combination shot.
I tried.
I like it. I like it.
I've made it easy for you, though. I've lined you up. You're lined up. You're ready to go. Look, I've created a runway for you. Look. Say, you come down here and go in this back pocket. Yeah. I've got the lights. I'm guiding you home, dude. I'm guiding you home. Oh! Okay, that was a real. The lights, they guided him home. It was good to see. Let's hope that some of these teams can get themselves guided home to a victory at the end of PMWC here at EWC. Thanks for watching. My name's Blank, and this right here is
Hot Jukes.
Catch you guys later.
This is probably my best acting performance ever. Man, it's gonna be a crazy finals.
I think so. Any favorites that you want to call out?
I mean, we got 4 Thrives who from Pakistan. They won PMGO season 1. They're a huge favorite. Team Vitality, dude, had like, they had the craziest group stage performance I've ever seen. Godlike. Yeah, we got OG. Yeah, they're insane. Dude, anybody could really do this, you know what I'm saying? Team Furia is a huge favorite of mine. They qualified in through survival stage, but it's one of those things where like, I feel like this year we're gonna see a team nobody expected win the whole thing.
Okay.
Which should be fun to see.
All right. $5. Who is it?
Who could it be, dude? It's gonna be so wild of a pick. Honestly, if 4 Thrives wins this, it'll be like the nuttiest thing ever.
Yep.
It would be crazy.
What do they got to do to win? Get a little lucky, obviously. But what else? What can they do to set themselves up?
That's the biggest thing, right? Like PUBG Mobile is a game. It's such a team game that even if you don't get those lucky circles, you got to put up consistent points no matter what. You know, I mean, and if you don't, it get a little, just even the slightest bit lazy, you're going home. You know, like one of my personal favorite teams, because their NA team was the Wolves. They made just the tiniest little car mistake. They end up losing and went home by 1 point.
Wow.
And
the margins here are insane.
And if you look back at the videos, like there was one play where one of the players accidentally just drove into a wall, and they ended up getting pretty much flushed because of it. And you just think like if just any little tiny mistake was avoided, they could have got that extra point and went to the finals.
But don't you have to risk it to get the biscuit?
You gotta risk it, dude. Sometimes the wall looks too juicy. There's those coin flip decisions, dude, right? And you can go left, and if it works out, you're a genius, you know? And if it doesn't, you're like an idiot. So like, I think it's just avoiding as many of those coin flips as possible. But if you do have to make those coin flips, you gotta have enough trust in your team to like, for them to just send it completely.
Right.
Yeah. They're doing great.
I can hear it.
The casting has been so tough. So hard.
Okay, try that out.
Oh, man. This is officially my favorite part of Paris.
A little bit to the right.
Yeah. 7, we're live.
That's the left. God damn it.
Not again. Thanks, Max. That was actually a pretty good massage. That was nice. Hot Jukes enjoying massages out there, being able to play pool, being able to do a bunch of stuff as well. But for some of these other squads, I mean, Natura, I know you've been wanting to talk about S2G.
Yeah. They were cruising very nicely on like one game with those hovercrafts, which I'm still very impressed with. I think the momentum, they saw their opportunity and they took it. They absolutely ran with those things. Really, really nice to see. However, and this is what gives me a little bit of an issue here, is it's because of the hovercraft that they gained that momentum, and then in the next couple of games we've not seen the same come from them. So for me, that feels like that ends up being a little bit of a fluke, which I really hope that that is not the case, that we do see them come back in a more normal way and still have that same kind of momentum, because that's what you really want. You can still get that same speed with those vehicles, it's just not the tankiness of a hovercraft, but you can still do it. It's still very doable. So I'm really hoping that actually they'll be able to do something else that doesn't include a hovercraft.
Would be nice. I mean, actually, if you're looking at the overall rankings, right, their position actually, I mean, production, 10 out of 10 stuff. Actually, no, they're on the second page, but S2G, they got that one chicken dinner with a hovercraft, as you already stated here, Nipchura, but they only have 10 placement points, meaning, and I always love to say this point, which is you take that chicken dinner away, what do you really have? And you can really only judge a team on their bad games. Do you still get 1 or 2 points only, or you're a team that on your bad games you get 3, 4, 5 points, a few placement points, a little sprinkled in with a few eliminations. That is the mark of a great team that generally right now, I would say that Team Jamba, I mean, actually look at their 37 points, right? You take away their placements, Nipchura, they would still be in what is that, 4th place?
Yeah.
Insane stuff from this team in day one.
It's so good.
S2G, you take away that win, they would have 0 placement points. So going along the lines of what you were talking about, got a chance to talk about Notch and Red Force. Notch and Red Force, just black and white, honestly. I know we keep talking about this team, Max. Black and white in regards to what we saw during groups, during survival as well for this squad. We were talking about how they would end up getting so many placement points, but they just weren't being aggressive. This time they're like, okay, we hear you. How about we just flip it upside down and we end up being more aggressive and end up getting only 1 placement point after 4 matches.
This is not the Nongshim Red Force that were crowned your PMMI 2026 champions. I'm just going to be brutally honest right now. They look like a shadow of their past selves. We know they can do so much more. And I mentioned it earlier, right, is that especially they got caught on their rotation on that previous game, which was a while ago now. But actually decided 4 thrives outside Potato Hill, and they just didn't have a plan B. They just didn't know how to catch up. And actually a team that, in my opinion, Nipchura, is a great team when it comes to getting a second, like plan B, plan C, the entire alphabet, right? Is Jamba, in my opinion, because looking back at that Rondo, they were getting chased with Eagle, that recall player, outside in Tinglong Garden. And man, they booked it because they're like, if we lose that solo player, our game is done. Eagle, literally, by doing so, saved the game. I would love to see a similar kind of mindset and approach to the game from Nongshim Red Force and even maybe Team Flash.
Yeah, no, because I think if Nongshim played the way Tiamba are doing, they would be so scary, right? Going back to our previous point of the Smash ruling, right? I watched the last game of PMMI where Nongshim Red Force won by Smash, right? I watched that game on my couch in my living room and I was still scared. I was scared and I wasn't even playing because that team, they knew what they had to do, and rather than fall underneath the pressure of like so many other teams do, quite rightly, this team knew exactly how to play this. It was like they weren't worried at all. They were like, yeah, we just have to get a win. That's all we got to do, and easy peasy. So for me, if this team can just move forward, step up, get that momentum going over the next day, basically, then what we could see is a team in the Smash point, and then good luck to everybody else, because that team is insane.
Talking about other teams, Lace, you want to say something?
I just want to say I agree, because like the fact that they could have those placement points early on, and the fact that there was one scenario where they absolutely just steamrolled Furia. If they just can add that together, I just had to add on that I agree that they would be scary as heck.
A team that could be scary as heck as well are the reigning champions of PMGO, and it's none other than 4 Thrives. 4 Thrives, I mean, currently being able to outperform what Nongshim Red Force is doing. Average placement, the exact same. I would love to see 4 Thrives player stats, though, because for this, I want to see who's currently performing, who's currently not performing. We saw who's Sci-Fi earlier on being able to clutch it up for the squad, and I feel like he's currently being the standout player when we usually end up seeing Falak.
Yeah, I mean, there was even a scenario where they were sort of bunkering in a building, and it just looks like their communication is not as tight as we're used to seeing. So yeah, if we bring up like player stats behind it, it looks like they're sort of just feeding and funneling into these, I guess, fights one by one, which is obviously catching them out. And generally, they will have sort of like a nice little split hold strategic way of actually pushing a team into the position that they want them to be able to take them out. So I think it was this spot actually here where, you know, they were sort of bursting, and it just was a little bit miscalculated. Still a great sort of, I guess, push from them, but it just isn't as fast-paced as Fourth Rise when we used to see it.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. And also, we kind of saw that when you were pointing it out. Max, the one we saw where Fourth Rise just decided to coexist with Horror Esports, it ended up hurting them in a big way because we saw, who was it? No Fear that ended up actually clutching up that 1 versus 2. For Fourth Rise, I would have loved to see them being a little bit more aggressive, making them back off and not just waiting the longest time when they actually have to just fight. Usually we tend to see Fourth Rise being a little bit more aggressive as we're looking at the player stats, and it's actually Falaka still putting up the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, he had some crazy good grenades, but actually, I wouldn't fully agree about them being more aggressive. I feel like they're aggressive enough, especially in the early game, right? They love to do it. They were going for it in Pachinki. They even were chasing down Longsham Red Force at some point, clearing out the entirety of Team Flash. I feel like the issue is sometimes they linger too long on their splits, like that a 2-2 split inside Fairy Pit, which I liked it. But then you saw Sleepy from Horror, and Sleepy is a very sleepy, sneaky man, okay? He spots you with a mini 14 or even like ARs that pretty much are just, long-range AR snipers. And he's just gonna tear you down. He did that on Falak. They were able to get the reset, but it really goes to show that a split like that, if you're holding on for too long, you are going to be showing a bit of a kink in your armor. I'm not really too scared for Fourth Rise. I feel like they're a team that don't really have a big ego. They're willing to change and iterate when they need to do so. So I feel like it's fine, but it's definitely been a rougher opening day than maybe a lot of people were expecting.
No, I do agree that they're not in the woods yet, right?
No, it's fine.
They're not in the woods. They're okay for now, but yeah, it's just that I know the other teams are going to start really playing a lot harder and a lot faster in the second day, and so for them in particular, they really need a good first day, and so far we just haven't had that from them. I kind of agree with both of you, right? Where you're like, they need to be more aggressive. Max says they don't. I think they need to be more aggressive in their momentum, right? Not in getting the not in getting the fights, right? But they need to be snappy. We're not seeing this team be snappy in their rotations. They're not being snappy in their pushes. Their splits are very slow. Yes. They need to slay those rotations. No, I'm sorry.
They do. I agree.
They do.
They actually do.
They really do. They need to be really like Nigma Galaxy that we've seen. Like, who else have we seen? EA have been very quick. If a player gets knocked, they are all over it immediately. They're very, very good. Al-Ula as well, quick, being very speedy with those pushes out for info to make sure that nobody comes in behind them. Stuff like that I want to see from Fourth Rise. We saw it in the group stage. It worked very well for them. And just now they're starting to be very indecisive, and I kind of feel like they don't know what's going wrong.
Just their pacing's off.
Their pacing is off. You're indecisive. Trust your gut. Go with it as a group, not one-on-one. Just go with it. Just do it. Just do it.
Just survive once again. But for this team, it's spot on. You were talking about the 2-2 splits. I felt like that 2-2 split took a little bit too long. They should have bring it up together, and that's why I wasn't really happy with how long they decided to coexist with Hora. And talking about that too, they've been aggressive when they need to, but I want to see the Fourth Rise that we ended up seeing at PMGO. For everybody that's been watching EWC, you know that the club championship is currently at stake. So why not listen to our amazing reporter that's been keeping track of everything going on with the club championship, Glitter Explosion.
SEC Arena to check in with Ginny about what's going on over here, what's going on with CC and the fans, really.
It's a really good time right now. This is our second game where we have the French crowd absolutely cheering out of their minds. Starting off today, Gentlemaids had their game, which was in that lower bracket, and they needed to win in order to be CC eligible, which now they are because they ended up in the top 8.
Okay.
Same thing for KC. They were second on the second game that we had here in the SEC Arena way back when EWC has just started. So they need another top 8 finish. If they win this game, they'll make it happen. But same old, Vitality Falcons have already qualified.
Of course.
And Twisted Minds playing later today.
All right, so then that means we've got way more competition still coming up around the corner, and it could be massive for our leaderboard at the end of it all. Of course, we'll check back in as we have more information.
Hello everyone, Jackie Powers and Blank here. We're amongst it right now, Blank, and we're going to be recapping some of what we've seen today. Obviously, day 1 of finals for PMWC. We've had 3 games played, all with a very different sort of aura to them, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's been a good day today. Tiamba's done very, very well so far. Ulf been able to get that win over on match 4, I believe it was, which is very cool to see, because I really like Ulf as a team. Fortunately, it has been a bit of a rocky start for them. Their star player, Eren, hasn't really been stepping up to the plate as much as I might have liked him to. But Scarface, though, he was doing great.
Yeah, Scarface came out swinging. Obviously talking to some of the fans as well earlier today.
Oh, really?
A lot of love, mate. You can see everyone's very excited. They're actually quite a big representation of the old fandom here.
Yeah.
So that's been kind of cool, getting a different vibe on it. I don't know, it feels like, you know, you've got a lot of Godlike fans, very loud, very energetic for them.
Oh, yeah.
But the old fans are there. It just feels like they've been a bit more reserved. They're kind of waiting. They were saying, we know they're going to do well. We'll just wait until they pop off.
We're
yeah,
ramping.
exactly.
Yeah, we're just ramping. We're just ramping it. I do think the loudest fans today, though, of all of them, have been Nigma Galaxy fans.
True.
They have come out in force. I was surprised by that, but it's good to see them here. They're all giving them a lot of love, which they deserve right now. Coops is doing fantastic.
Yeah.
I think Ralph's also playing a damn good game. I mean, on that match we watched, I think it was match 2, where he came out with the M249. Great shots over towards Ida. Ida in the bin, by the way, absolutely.
I think that one's a cut storyline already. Like, they're just basically throwing themselves at Nigma Galaxy. I think 3 of us at this point from the team here, the talent team, who spoke to Ralph and asked him similar questions.
Yeah.
And when I asked him about it, you could see that look in his eye where he's just like, I don't know why they're doing it, but it's giving us points and we're going to take it. But you're spot on, mate. Nigma as a team, they've looked great. And honestly, you're right. The fans have been bigging them up and saying, look, I'm pretty confident we're going to win this one.
Yeah.
He also said himself, I think we're in a good spot. Comms are good. I reckon we can win this year's PMWC.
Yeah. You think it's a bit amazing as well, because Coops said it before, he's dodged quite a few events so far with the team. And you really do want to see Coops with the squad. And now they're all together. It does feel like they're a well-oiled squad despite that. So you imagine there's been a lot of scrimming going on in the background, making sure he's been part of the team even when he's not been at events to ensure it's happened. But Coops has just had these awesome moments so far, alongside with Lord a lot, which is great to see. But I will say, one of the teams I've been sort of astonished about, let's put it that way, is Flash. Because we had some really nice moments with Flash, but match 3 today, they're able to get the win. Zeus with the unbelievable quick switch over towards Novia.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. But again, I wanted to ask you about it because they are the rookie upstarts. When they came through, they qualified to some massive events. Some of them by playing behind a random loot crate out in the open on Miramar. It's so fun to see a team like this, but they were down on your luck. And I mean, my question to you really, throughout all your years in esports, is like, for a team to do so well as a rookie squad, do they tend to have that downtrend, do you think, before they come back up again?
You know, I think if anything, it's kind of generally a bit easier in most other games. It seems kind of harder in PUBG Mobile because it's very intimate in the way the teams look into each other. They're always researching, always prepping. So even if you are an underdog or a little bit more unknown, someone knows your drop, someone knows your playstyle, they know what weapons you use, they know the way you approach the game. It feels like it's harder to counter.
Yeah.
But that was always my theory. Of a team like that, I think if they do start to hit that form, you could go really far, because maybe a few players aren't suspecting the best play from you at times. You can pull it out the bag. Max was saying they'll do well. I think they could have been a little bit better in the early groups. I think now, though, they keep it up with the shots we've seen. Mechanically, they could go really far this finals.
Yeah, they're lucky because it's very mirroring the fact of like Tiamba, where you're making these quick snap decisions on the fly. And I think a team like them has certainly come into this with a bit more of a lackadaisical attitude of just, we've just got to get in there, we've got to make it happen. Funnily enough, it was like, I actually was getting my manicure done at the same time.
Show them off, there you go.
Show them off,
there
these are cool. At the same time as Kamikaze was getting his haircut.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
And he came and he was asking me, who do you think's going to win? And I was like, well, from what we've seen so far, 4 Thrives looks pretty good. Vitality looks really good as well.
Safe bets. Safe
bets, you know. Didn't want to put it all on the table. And he just went, we're going to win. And I was like, right. But his explanation was quite cool, though.
Yeah.
He said that we came in groups, we just did not care. Well, they thought that the pressure would get to a lot of teams, which it has.
Yeah, definitely has. There's been too much respect. I think we said this on the card.
Oh my God, yes.
During groups, teams were scared to kind of make some big plays out of like, oh God, what if we don't make it? We have to go to survival. End of the day, mate, survival's the safety net.
Yeah.
If you're struggling, you kind of weirdly want to be there because then you can reset and come out better when we're in finals. And I think they're a team that proved, you know what, we'll just play our own game, give it. The fans are loving it. They looked kind of sick with how they've been playing today as well. And Kamikaze's like absolutely ridiculous with the plays he makes, but he can back it up. So fair play.
He can, yeah. I mean, then he was just in full Zen mode, getting his quick fade put in, which was cool to see. But again, I think for Kamikaze doing really good on the team. He played a long while back actually on a fair few squads. He'd always been like subbing in and out for S2G, and it's finally they believe in him now to really make those moments happen. And he is, because he was sort of the new kid on the block, because you had your Solaces, you had your Silas, Sol K, Ketch back in the day, Kelsey, Hamzy G, and then he would be like filling in here and there. But I think this must be a great moment for him, having such a fantastic time on the main stage. But yeah, I think S2G is doing well. Ulf, on the other hand, there's still a little bit more to go.
They're ramping.
They are ramping. They are ramping. But it is funny to me because there is some big Turkish rivalry between those teams. It's not brotherly love between those two squads.
No, like organization-wise, you can see everyone's firmly in their own corner. If we want this team to win, it's kind of fun. It makes it a bit more exciting. Where it's like, no, I love my team, my players. I think that's cool. I did also like to throw it in there. We had the pop-off moment with Ralph earlier.
Oh, bro.
The fans loved it. You could see we loved it. It was like, dude, this is what I want to see. There's a lot of personality in PUBG Mobile, and I think PMWC seems like one of the better events for it, where people get into that mindset of like, we are superstars, and they absolutely are. Best of the best in the game, biggest stages, most lights on them, and they're living up to it. $3 million prize pool. You got to bring your best. So we'll find out how it goes here in the finals.
दो मैच हुए हैं 2 मैच फिर कल मैच का मैच होने होंगे कब होंगे चार मैच गैप दिया गैप हो गया मैं भी थोड़ा पहले आता काफी सारे मैच फिर पैर का कुछ हो रहा है सारे भी चल रहे हैं गेम ही खेल रहे कर दिया तो नहीं पता तो ऐसे चलते हैं गाइस चलो चलते हैं टाइम चलते हैं कल अंदर लाइव तो कल आई थिंक 2 बजे की चलो खड़ा हैं कल गाइस